What's good? I was almost muted there. It's Wednesday. My voice is coming and going, mostly coming and coming. And I'm here with the real Copa Catania.
Hey
Lots of Phoenix.
guys, I just hit 1K because my wife begged me to hit over it on Twitter. So thanks for having me on, Zach. It's me, Copa Ex Machina. Copa Catania, actually, is a better name. He's gone downhill after he switched it, honestly.
That's true. He did. And you know what? Like, he hits his big 1K and then he forgets who his friends are right away. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Right away.
Yeah. It's embarrassing. And I'm going to dedicate my whole channel to taking him down. So thanks for having me on.
You should start a channel called Copa Catania. Now, it's open,
I
right?
should. It is open.
Yeah.
And I think people like that more than Ex Machina. What the hell does that even mean? Copa Ex Catania.
Isn't it?
There you go.
Copa's in the machine? I don't know. We have got Lady Balefire here and Godzilla.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm a bit under the weather, which is why I'm not on camera, but I thought since we're doing like monsters and stuff, I'd introduce you to our new cat, George. He is a very, very large cat, and he is super awesome, and we adopted him on Saturday. And yeah, I know, was like, George, yeah, he's really big, and he's like Catzilla pretty much, so I thought it was, topical, and since you guys can't see me today, I thought you could at least see a cute cat, so.
Well, awesome. Thank you for bringing your pussy out for us all to see.
Oh, yeah. Everyone loves
that.
hot pussy.
They do. Speaking of wet, he gets the ladies wet. It's Leon, Idol, Words of Paradise.
Hey, thank you for having me on. I'm stoked to be here. Like, you picked a great day to talk about monster movies, considering the Republican debates were on tonight, and my favorite current monster is Nikki Haley. So,
oh, nice. I didn't know it was going up against debates. Maybe we should have had another debate. Speaking of which, Lofty's going to be coming, or supposed to be coming in later. He has seen Godzilla -1. I have not. Leon has. And Gary from Pop Culture Minefield is supposed to be coming on here later too, but he is currently at Godzilla -1.
I was curious if Lofty would have shown up or not, because while we've both seen the film and agree relatively often, I'm sure he's going to say something that's going to be like, no, you're wrong, and it's going to be great. So I can't talk about the movie too much since you guys haven't seen it. So
no, Grace saw it, and that's like, we're like, oh, this is a thing. Me and Will were like going somewhere, and he's always listening to people's videos when we're driving around, and I was like, oh, shoot. I'm like, how does he see it? And I guess they released it in Japan early, and he thought it was amazing, so we're like, yeah, damn, we need to see it.
Yeah, he saw it a month early, and I think he's seen it a couple times now, and he loves it. He raves about it. So I want to see it. Hasn't lined up yet with my oldest boy to go. So, but we're going to go check it out for sure. I want to see it in the theater, but it's only in one theater here. It plays twice a day, and that's it. So if you can't make those, you're kind of screwed.
Man, I don't understand why they're not extending the theater run, because I don't know about it in Canada. Like, it's like a week showing and that's it, and it's killing at the box office. How are you going to say no to that much money?
Can't
Maybe they'll extend it.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they?
I don't know.
Japanese, I don't know. What do you think?
Japanese understand how the dollar to yen thing works yet, and so they don't really realize how much is made. Like, oh, it's only made 35 million. That's how much it costs for the shoes in the show. Like, no, it's 35 USD, not 35 million yen. Very big difference, Japan.
Is that how much it's made so far? US?
Wow.
No, it's made, like, last I checked was yesterday, it made like 11 million. I was just throwing out numbers.
Still, like, that's almost its entire budget.
Right.
And just US dollars.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Got Squeaka in the house. Adam Gray. Nosferatu the Vampire. Blackzilla. Yeah, thanks, Nos. My camera's crooked, I realize now.
So is this a prequel to the Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie?
Shut the fuck up.
Oh. There's people who've been saying that that's their favorite Godzilla movie, and that's a tough one for me to put up.
I know those people are making a really good argument for bringing back concentration camps.
Little platoon in the chat. You're telling Asians they don't understand math.
I'm saying they don't understand currency conversion. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, thanks, Little Platoon, for coming. I think Lofty's going to be here soon as well, and so he might see you and run.
Oh.
We'll see. We'll see. Love to have you guys back on though and talk some Barbie in the future. But Jan is here too. There's something about about the Kraken. Okay, well the Kraken is in the competition tonight. Sketch, Hey, thanks for coming over from Lofty's chat. Goober, Lady Balefire, good group. Nadia's here. What's up, beautiful people? She's not talking to Dawn.
Yeah, because I have Copa's face up right now. Sorry.
He's zombie
Well,
main.
tonight.
DMC Jr.'s here. Barbara Lawrence, good evening. We've got William Richards. Let's go, boys. Let's go, William Richards.
William Richards.
A.K.A. White Cloaks.
I
Good to
know. I
see
love
you.
how he doesn't even like. He just uses the surreal ma'am on the chat.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I know who he is. It's all good.
Yeah,
He's not building his brand, though.
I love you, babe.
Okay, chill
Aw.
out.
Yeah, this is a PG show, people. PG show. Yeah, let's go. Subtle Deviancy's here. Hey, Subtle. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming.
Polly, Latino Slant, also here.
Oh, whoa.
Josh.
Josh is here. There he is.
Polly.
Paulie. How's your book, Paulie, coming along? Hopefully you're I know you're already fully funded, but still, like you must be over your target now. Congratulations to you, dude. Angry Canadians here. Godzilla fan for life.
Ugh.
Is that cringe or what?
Yeah, I don't know. Godzilla's like fine. I don't want people are like, I'm a Godzilla fan. I love Godzilla. It's like, yeah,
Godzilla's one of the greatest franchises of all time. You shut your whole mouth.
I don't know. You can say that. I don't know. You can say that.
And that's why I'm so glad we
One, it
got
holds
Leon
the
here
Guinness
this week.
World Record for longest running film franchise. So I mean, if it's the longest and it's still going, it's got to be doing something right.
I don't know about that. If you've seen how long Disney Star Wars have been able to pump out content to prolong their run, I don't know if that's a sign of health or if it's just determination for an IP they somehow have rights to.
How many Godzilla movies have there been?
36, I believe.
Holy shit.
Nice.
That's a
I
lot.
could be wrong, but it's in that ballpark. I believe it's 30, 35, 37, something to that effect.
Got Sassy here
nuts.
too. That's crazy. I mean, you can't argue with that, but I have a hard time. We'll get into it later, but because I don't know, I didn't watch them when I was younger, really. The Man in the Suit Godzillas, man, it's really hard to watch that.
I like the original
Break
one,
my heart.
actually.
I know. I mean, hey, people love it. And credit to you guys for being able to do that. But, I'm so superficial. I can't get through that's a man in a suit thing. The first one, though, the original one actually is the better of those because it's not campy at all. And the black and white, I think, helps.
Oh yeah, the black and white absolutely helps the original, and the fact that it's an intentionally like genuinely serious horror film also adds to it.
And even the fire stuff doesn't look bad. It's just, yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? It's the 50s, right? Was it 54?
Yeah, 50, 54, 53, 50, 54, I believe. And then 56 for the American localization, I think.
I like the original movie.
It is way less annoying, William Richards.
Yeah. Much smoother voice.
Mm.
And he has probably better takes than the usual Copa.
Yeah, it sounds like his
like world
balls have
building.
dropped a little bit.
He
Definitely.
hates world building, hates Game of Thrones, says you shouldn't be allowed to
Wait,
watch it.
I love Copa, but is the world building thing? I can't tell if that's a meme or not. I
It's
truly
not.
don't know.
It's not a
It's
meme.
not a meme. He's serious.
He hates
Copa,
it. Yeah.
why?
All world building.
Anytime you expand the world out, he just immediately cringes and hates it. He wants to
Yep.
hurt you.
I all this time I thought he was just saying triggering shit to fuck with people. I had no idea he actually believed that.
No, he does. We got Sheep in the chat, though.
Yeah, his brain is about as smooth as his head. So
Yeah. Oh, Janice saying, hello, Leon.
Hey there, Jenna. I hope you cleaned up after I made you wet earlier.
Oh,
Ooh, towel time. We got Dempsey Senior in the house. Good group here tonight. Yeah, so Copa's thing about world building is true because I had a show. One of the first ones he was on with me, and I said it's about world building. Like what worlds are like the best of like these cinematic worlds? And he's like, I hate all of them. I hate world building. It shouldn't exist. It's just about characters, and like, so they shouldn't be like interacting with anything else. Just like, it's a really weird take on how to write stories.
Characters have to exist within a world, though. Like,
Yeah. And worlds have to have rules. And I appreciate when the world and the characters follow the rules in the world, because then you can sort of anticipate what's going to happen next and things in the past make sense. But
yeah, if you don't follow the rules of the world, you end up like Canada with self-assisted suicide being pushed. So
which is why I can't go to a doctor to get fixed.
I know, right? I mean, have you considered laughing yourself?
That is true.
Huh?
Soul Assassin, by the way. Soul Assassin's on the money. The '98 Godzilla cartoon actually wasn't bad.
The Matthew Broderick one. Oh my god.
Mothra, guys. Mothra's where it's at.
What is up, Jay? Desolate Souls. Barbie, please. Yes, you'll be in it for sure, Nadia. Love to have you on that show. And yeah, you can help out. You can help Lofty.
If I'm still sick tomorrow and I'm like not doing anything, I'll take a break from like binge watching the Last Kingdom to watch Barbie.
How do you like Last Kingdom?
I love it. It's fun. It reminds me a lot of Vikings and stuff. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, it seems like, you know, there's a lot of predictable things. And oh my God, dude, that freaking, like, what's his name? The king is such a fucking beta male, you guys. He needs a beta male song played all the
Alfred?
time.
Alfred?
Alfred, yes, Alfred. He's a beta male so hard, and he just totally like everything he like. It's like Uthred is like so like loyal to him, and all he ever
Mhm.
does is just like manipulate him like he's a woman. I hate that. He's such a woman. Oh, I can't wait till he dies. He's
Alfred
like
the
about
Great.
to die right
You
now.
you think Alfred the Great is a twink?
He's a beta male.
Okay.
I wasn't a twink, but like he's a beta male,
Oh,
and his
I
wife
mean,
is annoying. Oh, here he
y-
goes. Okay.
yeah. There goes the cat.
I Catzilla.
At the
If he comes
printers.
back, I'll turn it back on. But
So congratulations at the printers. That's great.
yeah,
Dig
that's
Outlaw's
awesome,
here.
Holly. Congrats.
Another creator. Ooh, love them. Cats or oh, I lost my contacts with my chat already. 37.
Oh,
Yeah. Trying to so many Godzilla movies on the way to the parking lot. True. True. Puff
what's
Daddy's Godzilla. I remember that.
Puff Daddy Godzilla.
Yeah, everyone
wow.
brings up the Puff Daddy
Come
Godzilla
With
music video,
Me?
and they seem to
Yeah.
forget about the Green Day song "Brain Stew." Also had a Godzilla edit from '98 Godzilla.
This is about Copa. I read his book. He hates it for real. See? I told you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, a book, and it's supposed to be like some sci-fi thing, and the title of the book's like, "Why Not Wichita?" I'm like, come on, guys,
Yeah.
Wichita.
He has a place name in the title of his book, yet he
And
hates
he doesn't
places
even
and books.
go to the cool thing that's there, like that blown up like grain silo thing. And he was telling me about this because I was driving. I took a picture of the road signs when we were driving to Iowa, and I'm like, dude, look at we're in Wichita. And it was telling me about the grain silos that like there was an industrial accident, and now it's just this giant husk, and it's like one of the biggest like manufacturing sites, and it's just one of those really cool abandoned places. Like,
Oh.
yeah.
Copa loves Hallmark movies. Copa's getting it
Oh.
hard tonight in the chat already.
don't worry. I am writing a book. I have to buy his book and read it and then make a better version of it called Why Not Weimar, the German 1930s version of it that Josh, I'm sure, is going to read cover to cover as soon as it comes out.
Oh my god. He would.
Josh loves that.
Hey, Whitmer.
Hello,
Hope your chickens are
canola.
okay.
Yeah.
Copa is hard tonight.
Cannoli Sasquatch, what's up? Good group, man. So Copa's has an interesting trick in his book. I've read it. And it's he likes to work barfing into his stories.
Oh god.
So there's a
Yeah,
lot of barfing.
that was interesting.
Yeah. Atomic Ray, what's up, boy?
Does he find it funny? Is that why? Or is this some like fetish thing where he likes it?
I think he's just trying to outdo Seth MacFarlane.
That makes sense.
Barf batons, yes,
All
the
right.
batons.
Yeah, barf batons, exactly. I did not see that coming. So there's that. Hard
Yeah.
flaccid. Are you hard flaccid?
Yeah, hard flaccid.
Perfect. All right. So I have a Godzilla 98 movie story, and that's that I'm with a bunch of friends. I went to the midnight showing opening night. Waited in line because back in the day there was no reserve your seat first. So waited in line, big premiere event. It was so awesome that I fell asleep in a Godzilla movie, and I have insomnia. So it was quite a trick to do that. It was that bad. I could not believe how boring you could make a Godzilla movie. Yeah, it was absolutely the worst. And it didn't help sell the rest of the franchise either.
Yeah.
Less Matthew Broderick.
Were you roasting me for talking shit on Roland Emmerich last time I was on your show on like the 4th of July? That's a Roland Emmerich film. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, I don't like Roland Emmerich.
It may have been someone else on the chat thing, because I just remember calling out Roland Emmerich, and they're like, well, how can you not like Roland Emmerich films?
Oh.
I'm like, aside from Independence Day, what's he fucking done? Yeah, Godzilla 98.
We're probably gaslighting you. That's what we were doing. Greatest film ever made. There you go, Nas. Yeah. Maybe it was a chloroform that put me to sleep. It's possible. Yeah. So what? So you are an expert on Godzilla and all things Japanese. Leo.
I like to think so. Yeah, I've been watching the Godzilla movies, like the guy in the suit one, since I was probably 4 years old. Like growing up, didn't know the context or the timelines or anything to that effect. Obviously, it's changed now, but yeah, just Godzilla is stuck with me. Somewhere off camera, I've got a Power Rangers versus Godzilla comic book, just because you gotta have everything Godzilla. There's a little Godzilla toy behind my chair here as well. I'm a fan.
What would be the connection then with Godzilla and Barney? Are they like have they
Oh my
ever
God,
teamed
that's-
up in a movie or a TV show or that you know of?
No, but I would absolutely watch that in a heartbeat, because frankly, I think Barney would win. I think Barney would take it. Like I've never seen, like I've seen Godzilla destroy buildings, but I've never seen him like sexually abuse children. So Barney has that like terrifying edge.
I was just gonna say,
I mean-
probably like hug you to death.
I think it would be tough for for Godzilla to work that out. He's just so like sharp, like he's gonna kill you by accident almost immediately, even if you tried to be gentle. That's a tough move for him to pull off. Yeah, Don, what's your Godzilla history?
I saw the first one, the first American version of it, the Matthew Broderick one. I was a really little kid, and I remember I think we had some toys growing up of that version of Godzilla, and I don't know. I don't think it really hooked into me. Like, I was like, it's okay, Godzilla. I think I have more fun with other franchises that kind of do it as well, like the Rampage video game, stuff like that, like the big monster video games. I think I have more connection with those than actual Godzilla. But I mean, you can't deny the iconic screech of Godzilla is so awesome to this day. It's such a cool sound. That's my, I guess, overall take on it. Except it's trash, and I don't get why anybody likes it. Just holds on to this for some reason. It's a big lizard that shoots radioactive beams from its mouth. All right. I wonder if anyone could ever do something to top that.
Okay, monster movies. How about Attack of the 50-Foot Woman? Have you guys ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
No, but I'd like her to sit on me, please.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Crush me,
like, you know what?
please.
I was like, what is this gonna be when I watched it? Because I was going through like old movies and stuff. And I like TCM because they show old movies and there's no commercials and stuff. So there was a point where I had cable and I was just like recording a bunch of the really cool things that they showed, and that was one of them. And I'm like, this is gonna be really cheesy, but it's actually really this really cool kind of revenge story about this woman, and she's alcoholic, and she ends up having a UFO encounter, and nobody believes her because she's kind of like mentally unstable. And also her husband's like cheating on her, and him and his like girlfriend are trying to like kill her. And because of the UFO contact, she turns into a giant woman, and they try to like cage her up, and then she gets free, and she actually like kind of breaks out and goes out and goes after her husband and his mistress. So it's fun.
When was that made?
Let me see. I was
what
actually
era
just
is that?
looking it up. That was in the 50s, I want to say. It was the
Are
Independent
you talking
Woman.
about Attack of the 50-Foot
1958.
Woman? Is that the movie?
Yeah, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. 1958, directed by Nathan Hurts. Yeah. It's not a very long movie. It's like, yeah, if you're ever curious about something and it's like I thought it was gonna be like some weird, like, well, I don't know. I didn't think it was gonna be like too feministy, but like, I mean, it's the 50s, so but the story is
in the
cool.
50s actually meant something.
Yeah, like I'm all about a good like female like driven revenge story, like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo or something, and yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. Let me get a picture up here for people.
Yeah, it's like a little different on the take on the monsters.
Valid though. Terrifying, really.
I know, right? Like a
Ugh.
50-foot woman, like what could be scarier? But she has this really cool, like she enlarges when she's in her house, and she has no clothes, like her clothes all rip off, so she has to make like a freaking like bikini out of her bed sheets, and then she ends up with one of those awesome like kind of pointy 50-foot like or bikini, like what were those ones called? Like the pointy boob bra things. I can't think. Torpedo bras. I guess
Torpedo
that's what they used
bras?
to call them.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cone tits rule.
Hell yeah. It's really hot. So she's like a pretty hot chick too. So
imagine those milkers. If get them going, like if she could like probably feed the third world. No,
hell yeah, I know. Like keep going.
with those bad boys.
The cool thing is like she had like diamonds or something, and then they find out when like she became enlarged, like the diamonds are in the like alien ship, and they become giant too. So it's like the world's biggest diamonds. So.
We got Sentient Dildos here. Old Dildo, good to see you. And Hunty's here, and one of our special guests has arrived. Hello, Sherry. Good to see you too. We have got milk, exactly. Gary.
Oh my god, Gypsy, that's a lot of cake.
Not Jerry. From
Hey,
Pop
guys.
Culture Minefield. Welcome, Gary.
Hey, buddy.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I know. It looks like you finally went through puberty.
I'm getting there. I'm taking the long road to adulthood, so I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. But Gary, kind of got me started in this YouTube thing. So he gave me my first opportunities and taught me everything I know, not everything he knows. But yeah, he and Six were huge to get me into this thing. So
Yeah.
I will always be thankful for that, Gary.
And Six and I still have a great relationship.
And you are a very creative person, and you're here to talk about your comic tonight. But before we do that, I want to hear your take on Godzilla -1.
I would see it with my movie buddy. We always go to movies together, Travis. And I thought it was funny because we both kept hearing each other say, shit, fuck. I found myself pushing myself back in the seat a few times
Really?
in this movie. This is a huge nod to Jaws, by the way. Huge nod to Jaws. And I've always joked that Jaws was a kaiju. You know, a giant, larger than normal shark. And by God, they've really pushed it. But there are so many little nods to Jaws in that movie that I was tickled by it. But the intensity of some of the action scenes was so, well, they were just that intense that it was causing me to push myself back into the seat and saying things like fuck. And then I'd hear Travis go, shit.
It's so funny you say that, because during that exact scene, like I've been getting on. I took my best friend and my grandmother to go see it, and they were talking during the movie. Like you could tell they were trying to whisper, but they're like grandma's old, so it's not working out. Love her to death. So the whole time I'm telling them, shh, quiet. We're in a theater, be quiet. And then that scene you're referring to comes, and I audibly go, fuck that. And then I realized, oh, shit, I'm in the theater. But like, yeah, I had the exact same response.
And they had another nod to it later with the big battle cruisers. The whole cable tension scene, that's from Jaws. So the movie is just chock full of nods to one of the greatest monster movies ever made, as well as, of course, to the original Godzilla. It really is, in many ways, almost a kind of a quasi remake of the original. They changed the timeline a little bit, but and they also left out the scientist. Instead, we get this guy who's a science guy.
Best character in the movie, by the way, Noda. He is the best character in my opinion.
I got to tell you, the guy that's in command of their boat is my favorite character because
he is also great. Talking without spoilers is going to be rough since a lot of these guys haven't seen it. Like,
yeah, because I don't want to say a damn thing, but he is one of the best characters in the film. His reaction to the love life of the main character, the central character.
Shikishima, yeah.
My two complaints of the film is I know they shot this film for $15 million, and what they did with $15 million is amazing. But the Godzilla character, there are moments where he's like really aggressive, physically awesome in his movement, and there are moments when he's walking around and it looks like a really badly animated AI character. I thought they were going to do a little more mocap.
Speaking of badly animated AI, what's up, Lofty?
Hey, Lofty, welcome.
Hi.
Lofty.
I'm horribly animated.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. Hi.
And ooh, you came
I did.
Hard. Yeah.
came hard.
It's all
By
up.
the way, what's going on with Copa? He has not blinked once since I've been here.
Yeah, Copa's not blinking because he believes the Godzilla franchise in America probably could be saved by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni if they really tried.
I got to tell you, man.
Oh no. It begins.
Seeing the trailer for the American film, and I realize they're doing the same thing that the Showa era did of making Godzilla, a friend of man. Whereas the original film, Godzilla and Godzilla Raids, are absolutely, he's a monster. And I like that Godzilla.
And in this movie.
And in this movie, he is not a friend to man. From the get-go, when you first meet him, and I'm not going to say much about this, he wants to kill anything that he runs into.
Well, to be fair, the Showa era doing, the Godzilla friend to man thing, I like that. I think it works. Like, Godzilla has been, obviously the different eras do so many different things with him. I think the Showa era gave us some of the best films. I like him when he's big, angry animal as well, but I like that the American version is going that route. Like, it gives us two distinct ongoing Godzillas at once that are both good.
I agree. I also think that it would be boring if they did the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So that's why I don't have a problem with Hollywood doing their own little team up thing, because to be fair, it's not very super common that they do that. So, but it just
the only issue I've got with the most recent trailer, and I said this in my trailer reaction to it, is that you've got a backlog of Toho monsters you could use, and they've come up with some original King Kong variant when you could have been using Space Godzilla, or you could have been using Gigan. Like, I'm a little bummed that we haven't gotten in King of the Monsters, we got Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah. But there's a laundry list of other Toho monsters. We should be getting more than.
Yeah. I mean,
I agree.
I like the Planet of the Apes trilogy a lot. And I like the dynamic of like apes and like their sort of like communities and like, the alpha ape fighting. I think that's a really cool concept. And I think maybe it could be also fun in this movie, like kind of that sort of dynamic of like primitive like apes and whatever they do with it. I don't know. It could suck. But to be fair, this is where Kong came from. And he sat on his throne and he picked up the axe, right? And isn't this this main storyline of this whole Monsterverse kind of where it's supposed to be going?
I think it's interesting they haven't called him King Kong. They've just called him Kong. So I think this movie is going to be about him actually becoming King Kong.
Fighting the king.
Oh, this is the Godzilla versus Kong movie, right?
Yeah.
And that's not the one that's out now, right?
No, the one that's coming out now is them
the
teaming
Japanese
up.
one, right?
Yeah.
The American one is them teaming up. It's not versus.
There's two. There's the Japanese -1, which is the original story, and then there's the Kong New Empire, which is the sequel to Kong versus Godzilla.
Okay, because I went to the movies and I saw like the preview, and I'm looking it up, and I'm like, oh, I guess that's Godzilla versus Kong New Empire. I'm like, God, I don't know how to feel about that.
Can I say something about it?
Okay, so hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
I do have in the chat right now. I got a poll. Do you guys care about spoilers? Because I don't. I've already been spoiled on this movie, and it's a Godzilla movie, so I'm not really too concerned about being spoiled by it. But we'll see what the chat cares about. But that's me. It doesn't bother me at all to hear spoilers for this. And the reason I did the show this week is because we got Monarch out right now, which Monarch, no bueno. But I did sit through it, so I have watched that. -1 is apparently like the people are saying the best Godzilla movie, or at least their favorite. And
they're wrong.
The same
it's
time,
one of the best. It's not the best.
Well, yeah, I mean, best is it's all subjective, anyways. But then
it's very subjective.
There's no such thing as subjective, Lofty.
Godzilla -1's incredible, but I think recency bias is playing into people saying it's the best. So I think we need to give this movie 6 months to a year and then reevaluate to see if it really is the best.
Sure, that's fair. I do think that there are people that really dig the Toho, like the original film, the aesthetics of like the stop motion stuff. It's a very niche sort of artistic, thing that some people like, some people hate. So if somebody thinks this is the best, it might be because they don't really care for the puppet Godzilla movies as much. So I don't know. I think it's a valid statement.
Okay. Well, we're not going to do spoilers because enough people in the chat are saying they don't want them. So
Yeah.
we're going to not, but you can give like light details. I know that you had an issue with the performances, Lofty. Can you expand on that?
I am so bored with Rebecca Hall. She is
Who?
does anybody like her character in Kong? She was the girl from Kong versus Godzilla, the mother of the adopted mother of the deaf girl.
Okay, so that is her coming back. When I saw the trailer,
Yeah.
I was like, I think that's her, but she was so non-memorable that I couldn't actually recall if that was her. So yes, I agree. I could do that. Now the deaf girl though, I do love that little fucking Indonesian deaf girl, or whatever. She is like she's the heart and soul of Godzilla vs Kong. I'm so glad she's coming back.
She's fine. That little girl is like the best character in that movie, but even her character is like very like generic. Like she's deaf and she communicates with sign language, and we're supposed to like feel bad for her, and that's like the extent of her character. That's it. It's not a very those movies are
That's
terrible.
all I need from a child character though, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like
But to be fair, when we're talking about -1, this movie had a story.
fair enough. The child in -1 is just
Yeah.
Don't take that the wrong Abomination AJ. That's not what it means. Not what you think it means.
AJ. No. The Godzilla.
I cried at that little girl. In
The whole
theater.
problem
too.
with
I
the
did too.
American Godzilla films is the human element.
It's terrible.
been the
Terrible
weakest
human
part
element.
of it.
It's so bad.
To be fair, that's usually the problem with the Japanese Godzilla films as well. Let's be real.
Yeah, sure. But if that's the case, I haven't seen. Here's everybody yells at me. They're like, Lofty, that's you're being hypocritical because most of the Godzilla movies have bad characters. Well, then maybe they're all bad. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of them. My point is like, it's got.
You don't like the twins in Godzilla versus Mothra? Come on, what's not
I
to
haven't
love?
seen enough. I saw the original
singing
Godzilla.
twins.
I saw the original Godzilla. I saw Godzilla 2000. I saw 98. I saw the MonsterVerse, and I saw this new one in Shin Godzilla. That's it. That's all I've ever seen.
Aside
I
from the
feel like
98,
I haven't even
most
seen
of the
that
good
many, but
ones.
I've seen some of the old ones. So
Yeah.
I like the Mothra one. That was fun.
Look, if it's corny, if people like Godzilla movies because the human characters are corny and like it's just like a kind of a kitsch kind of like fun movie, like B movie, that's different than the MonsterVerse movies. The MonsterVerse movies are not corny. They're taking it seriously. They're trying to tell a good story, and Hollywood writers are ass and they can't tell a good story.
Yes,
They are
absolutely.
not trying to. Those movies are not B movies at all.
I'm going to push back on that. The first
terrible.
one they took seriously, and then because there was so much criticism, they slowly camped it up with each movie. Godzilla, the King of the Monsters, far campier than just Gareth Edwards'
How is it
Godzilla.
campy?
And then
I don't know.
The real criticism that you're talking about was the fact that what's his
think it's
name? Matt Reeves. Was it Matt Reeves that directed it? I forget who directed it.
No. Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards did the first one.
He wanted to do the Jaws thing, where you don't see the shark.
Yeah.
And you don't do that with a kaiju movie.
No.
Unless you're that found footage camera one. That worked real well for that one.
Oh yeah, that's a different genre though.
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield is a great kaiju movie where you don't.
I
see the
love it.
monster.
I agree because that's a disaster movie.
Fair enough.
It really
Yeah,
is.
that's fair.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah, I
other
gotta say-
little.
I gotta say hello to some people in the chat here at CLS Studio. Thanks for coming. We got Trip is here. Trip, Dawn's favorite. Trip. Copa.
He actually giggled at that. What's up with the giggle?
He just Don has people that he purposefully rubs the wrong way as much as he possibly can.
Oh,
And Trip happens to be. I don't know if you noticed that or not, Gary, but he has a tendency to do that sometimes.
who, me?
No, Don.
Oh.
Don, aka Copa, aka Flaccid Phoenix.
Oh,
Bass
yeah,
player.
Flaccid Phoenix.
That's one.
He tries fucking with me, and I just shake my head. You're fucking with the wrong dude.
He tried fucking
I'm
with
a
your ring
veteran
tonight.
too. I'm a veteran. I don't give a shit.
We got couple of things. So we're gonna start the when we talk about Godzilla -1 in the Godzilla universe, we're gonna start our first smash and pass poll. We've got Godzilla versus the Kraken, who will be released. I got a clip here for each.
It felt like there were
And-
two Godzillas, by the way.
There's multiple Godzillas.
No, in the one
Godz-
movie, it felt like there were two
Oh, really?
Godzillas. Yeah, the one that felt animated and alive, and the one that's walking like a robot.
Yeah.
It is really weird, but I
Yeah.
still love the movie.
Gonna release the Kraken.
I agree.
I'm sorry, that's the Kraken. I thought it was like the legit Kraken from like Pirates of the Caribbean. Come on, that is a freaking cool Kraken, and it's got like the tentacles and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one isn't named by Liam Neeson, therefore it's not near as cool.
That's right.
Uh,
Beware my Kraken.
All right. Poll is up.
where's the poll?
I mean, the
Can't
best
see it on the
Kraken-esque creature is from the Fellowship of the Ring. The
The
Oh.
one
lake-
outside the mine.
Oh yeah,
No,
that thing
yeah, the
too.
lake-
I mean,
lake
if
monster.
it's a Kraken, like you gotta have the tentacles. Like, just no getting around it.
Hentai.
Yeah.
Tina.
It's a-
Hey, Tina. Great to see you. Thanks for coming.
Also, if anyone hasn't already, smash that like button right now. It's not optional. If you don't smash, you're getting banned.
That's right. And Nadia, did you watch Braveheart finally?
Yeah, hello.
Did you watch it, Nadia? Braveheart.
nice.
We need to know.
Nadia,
That was the first
Yeah.
movie I ever saw titties in.
based and
Throw
true.
that out there.
Yeah, fair. Nothing wrong with that. So Godzilla -1, you were saying performances were lacking a bit in places for that one, Lofty, specifically.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I talked about this tonight on my stream a little bit.
Mhm.
I can't tell. It's hard to tell because sometimes Japan, they're known for sort of like overacting. They have very theatrical performances sometimes in movies. And this goes way back to Kurosawa, doing Shakespeare and Macbeth and King Lear, and they do these, Shiro Mifune very overacts really super hard in all his movies, a lot of them. And it's like sort of a style. It's like a theatrical kind of style. Sometimes it works and other times it doesn't. I don't know. In this movie, it sort of came off a little bit corny. Like when he's like whimpering and he's like,
Yeah, you're talking about Shikishima character.
the main character.
Yeah, he's a
and then-
whiny, crying little bitch at times.
Yeah.
and it's really annoying.
See, how is that annoying? It worked for you because you gotta understand Japanese culture. This part's not a spoiler. This is in the synopsis.
Yep.
He is a disgraced kamikaze pilot. And when you know how seriously the culture of Japan takes honor, the fact that he didn't fulfill his honor and kamikaze
Well, if you
himself,
go back to the
Yeah,
Kurosawa era, though, back in the 50s, a character like that would have been more withdrawn and wouldn't have been so emotional on camera.
depends on the movie because
And
Look,
I'm saying the
yeah.
era when Kurosawa was ruling, and he would have
Yeah.
played that character differently, or had the character played differently.
I think this character, I think you're right that he had a reason to be like, what's it called? Have like a crisis,
Yeah,
emotional crisis. But, I don't know if that's how real people act. To be honest, I think he was hamming it up a little bit.
he didn't just see a giant fire-breathing lizard. I don't know how a real person would react seeing that either.
No, you understand what I'm saying.
fucking with you. I get what you mean.
pretty
Well,
much the same way when you're in the gym locker room and you see your first 10-inch dick. It's about that.
What I'm saying is
Oh.
there's a way to cry on camera that's realistic, and then there's a way to cry on camera that is performative. And it's a matter of like acting. It's just I'm not saying
100% with you on
Yeah.
that. And the character is a tragic character, and you understand his plight.
yes,
But
exactly.
it gets hammed up so much. For me, the best performances in the film were Kuranosuke Sasaki, who played the boat captain. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
great in the film. And Kenji Noda, the science guy, the engineer.
Yeah.
Both those guys had great performances in the film. They really did. And the women did fantastic.
If there was ever a Japanese version of To Kill a Mockingbird, the guy that played Noda would need to be Atticus. Like, I know that's such a weird parallel to draw, but
Atticus
you know
Finch, right? Totally true. He was when they're sitting there drinking sake, and he's like, oh, and he does that little thing with his voice.
Gosh.
I actually laughed out loud in the theater because I loved his performance. He was so good.
This movie had good laugh out loud moments to really, because it's so depressing for a lot of it, which is out of the ordinary for most Godzilla films. So when it does give you those moments of levity, they work so well. Like the exact opposite of anything Marvel or whatever does.
Right.
Yeah.
Another little tiny beef I had was the excessive use of overuse, whichever one you want to say it as, of foreshadowing. Because it became really obvious what was going to happen at the end.
Predictable.
It was extremely predictable, but satisfying at the same time. But it was like, oh, if I had done this, I would have done it differently to where it wasn't so fucking obvious.
Yeah, I would have done the same thing.
Thought I had the same thought, but then, like I said, I saw the movie with my grandmother. She didn't see how it ended coming, and I was like, really? It was. I don't know.
Well,
if
there are
it
a
just
lot of
means
people who don't, because I'm a writer. Okay, so
well, that's what I was about to say. People
my
like
brain
us who
always works
analyze
that way.
film or tell stories will see it coming, but will the average movie
people won't do it because I don't want to say
I don't
they're
think
dumb,
an average.
but they don't think like us.
I don't think a grandma is an average Godzilla viewer.
No,
But-
but an average
Well,
film
it's so
goer in
cold
general,
in
you
the
would start to pick
theater.
up on foreshadowing and stuff.
No, I think it was
No.
incredibly. I think it was incredibly, even for normies, predictable.
It
I
was.
mean, they even showed him reach around. I don't want to do spoilers.
Yeah,
unless
don't
we're
do the
going-
reach around.
Wait, Sax, are we doing spoilers?
No.
No
Okay.
spoilers.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
But like, it was fine. What made the predictable plot fine was everything that was happening around it. It was like, yeah, it's predictable that he's gonna come and attack this place. That's not a spoiler. Godzilla attacks it.
Fucking Godzilla.
But even though it was still epic to watch, you know.
And did you find it
the
obvious
production-
that it was inspired by Jaws twice in the movie?
Yeah, Spielberg came out and said, the other day, the Godzilla is like peak cinema. He said this.
Yeah.
He loves Godzilla -1. He loves it. Steven Spielberg.
Well, because they borrow heavily from him.
Yes, they do. Yeah. And even the opening is
In a
very
good
similar
way, though.
to.
I will
Yeah,
say
the
that in a good way.
Well, the opening reminds me of Jurassic Park in a weird way.
I
like,
was-
if you,
yep.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's
I
like
heard you say that before, Leon. Yeah.
It's the first time. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is the first time, to my knowledge, we've actually seen Godzilla. I don't know if it's a spoiler. It's literally the
Pre-atomic,
opening scene.
'cause he
It's
wasn't
literally the opening
atomic
scene.
Yeah.
Say it again?
And it's not, I don't consider this a spoiler. He doesn't become atomic until he's exposed to the hydrogen bomb going off at.
Oh,
Bikini
that's not what I was
Island.
just going to say. It's the first time we've actually seen Godzilla eat someone. Like, that's not something we've ever
Did
actually
he
seen.
eat him? I
before,
thought he
to my
just
knowledge.
picked him up and threw him.
Ooh.
maybe both. Maybe.
Yeah,
I didn't see him
either way,
swallow
we've never
anybody.
seen Godzilla do something like that to a human body that I can think of out the top of my head.
Godzilla's a swallower.
But
Yep.
that's not
Confirmed.
really.
I thought
No,
he was a
no.
spitter.
No, that what I meant by Jurassic Park, and as you're actually right, like it did remind me of like some of the Spielberg T-Rex stuff. But
Right.
what I meant was the beginning of Jurassic Park, where they had this prologue of the hunter. He's like, shoot her, and like they're all being attacked by this velociraptor that escaped. The first scene, and it's like
that one.
it's like chaos. It's pure chaos, and his friends being like pulled into the thing, and his arms going through his hand and everything. That's how this movie sort of starts. There's like this chaotic scene in the beginning that like is crazy, and it has like this sort of prologue vibe to it that like sets up the rest of the movie, very much like the first scene in Jurassic Park. But yeah,
But the first scene in Jurassic, I think this actually works better than the first scene, because the first scene in Jurassic Park sets up the concept, the island, the dinosaurs. This
Mhm.
scene not only does that for Godzilla, but also sets up the character of Shikashi,
Oh, yeah.
because the main characters aren't in the first scene of Godzilla, whereas
Yeah.
you've got your main hero in the first
Yeah.
scene experiencing this, so it also sets up his arc as well. So it
For
two
sure.
for one's it.
I love that. I love that, dude. That blew me away in the theater. I was like, "What am I in for? I'm in for a ride."
Yeah,
it's
and
so
it
good.
really did. I got to say, unlike some of the comments made about Marvel films where it's like an amusement park ride, this still felt like there was a bit of a ride involved, and it really felt that way, like you were bumping and being thrown a little bit. And I gotta say, for all my little tiny nitpicks with it, I really enjoyed this movie. I like the fact that despite some of the excessive drama and overacting, I really cared about the characters. I like the story.
Yep.
I liked that the character is created to be broken at the beginning and trying to find a way to fix himself in the situation.
I agree. It's good.
I like that. That's telling a story. That's a character arc.
I'm glad everybody's being normal about it. I've seen kind of takes going around on Twitter that like, this is the best movie of the year, 10 out of 10, shit's all over Hollywood. And it's like, whoa. Just because this movie is like not woke and it has good storytelling doesn't mean it's a perfect movie. Like, can we like, I feel like sometimes people are using like their enthusiasm for a movie as like sort of subtext for like a political argument, and it gets really cringe sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like,
and by the way, it felt like the first Japanese Godzilla movie that somehow didn't blame America for creating him.
Well, even if it did, though, that would be like fine.
It'd be
They're
part of the
saying
course,
he existed
especially in this one, which is right after World War II.
Yeah. They're saying that this creature already existed, ancient creature, but it's because of the Bikini Atoll explosion of the hydrogen bomb that enacted the radioactive aspects of it.
Yeah.
But we didn't create the monster. The monster was already destructive to begin with.
Yeah.
But he was small.
And I mean, I want to loop back to what Lofty said about making a political statement with it and whatnot. Like, because this is my second favorite movie of the year, but also I'm biased as a massive Godzilla fan. I still think Oppenheimer was a better movie. Now, again, pretty great that the top two movies of the year both said "fuck you, Japan." We're gonna traumatize Japan. But no, I like Oppenheimer better as a film. I think I probably enjoyed this one more from a fan perspective because I'm a Godzilla fan. But if I have to be objective, Oppenheimer is a better movie. That being said, both are fantastic, and you can't deny that. Yeah, there is the aspect that neither were inherently political, at least by modern day standards. In fact, this movie kind of is political in that, again, to avoid spoilers, it has to do, it's very, very big on private citizens and fixing their own problems and not relying on the
also
government.
Critical of Japan itself. It's the first Japanese film that criticizes Japan after or because of World War II.
Well, to be fair, that happened quite frequently back in the 60s. They had a lot of Japanese directors who were under strict propaganda during the war, and then as soon as the war ended, there was a lot of anti-war Japanese films being made.
You can see
there's a comment there for you.
Yeah. Oh shoot, for who?
For you,
I don't remember what I said. I probably said something that he disagreed. Maybe he's talking about it.
Wait a minute, you're saying
Godzilla
your enthusiasm for a movie doesn't make it good. Yeah.
Well, let me explain, because I've said this many times as a critic, that just because you like a movie doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Of course.
No, dude.
No.
Half the Godzilla movies in existence are absolute dog shit, but I love them. Like, let's be real. Most
absolutely.
Half the Godzilla movies are not good, but they're so much fun.
Yeah.
There's something to enjoy about them. Like I just watched that movie Freelancer with what's his name, Cena. Dumb. It's so dumb.
That looks terrible.
God damn it! I had so much fun watching that movie.
Really?
It was stupid, but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
But this is an Avatar thing where I think I ever got to say it officially, but because I didn't even get to address half my notes. But yes, just because you like a movie, it could be a bad movie. However, I don't think Avatar is a bad movie. I think it's like a 6, 7, 8 out of 10. And then I don't think it's a bad movie. I like it a lot, and I also don't think it's a bad movie.
Okay, so genuine question. Just objectively as films, which do you think is a better movie, Godzilla -1 or Avatar? I'm genuinely curious.
Godzilla.
As a better story, as a better constructed story and everything, Godzilla -1 is
absolutely
better.
Yeah, by the way, I'm in the camp with you. I actually like Avatar. I think people are too hard on Avatar too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just curious on your thoughts.
But give me 2.5 hours of Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung fighting each other, and I'll say that's a better movie than a lot of movies with good story. You know what I mean? I don't care necessarily when I say movie is good. I'm not saying story. I'm not saying story is good. I'm not saying script is good. I'm saying movie experience is good. Good movie. Good movie. You know what I mean? It could have a terrible story, but
Or no
but
story.
This doesn't, or no
Fern
story at
Gully.
all. It could just be
Fern
like I
Gully,
watched.
yes. Fern Gully.
That's
I
funny.
mean, like,
Nadia's
I
saying
watched-
Avatar's grown up for Gully.
I watched a documentary about Antonio Gaudi. He's an architect, Spanish architect. He's dead. But anyway, I
Mhm.
watched this poetic documentary. It's no dialogue. It's just a guy with a camera, Teshigahara, Japanese filmmaker, going into his buildings and just filming everything, going up the stairs. And it's literally a work of art. It's a visual
there.
poem.
I've been there.
It's a visual poem. I think it's a perfect movie. It's a brilliant masterpiece. And there's no story. So I don't know. You know what I mean? It depends. It's just so many factors. There's so many fucking factors. I think
They're coming for you,
Pacific Rim is a great movie. It's a really
Oh yeah, I really
corny.
like that one.
Really corny.
Very much enjoyed that film.
Yeah, but it's corny and it's sort
We're
of
talking about that one
corny
tonight
though.
too.
I
But,
like
like-
Pacific Rim. It's not corny. It's fun.
Well, I want to
It's
start
so
pushing
corny.
Jaws as a kaiju film.
No, Jaws is a
I
brilliant movie.
agree. Like
Jaws isn't a kaiju film though. It's a
It
good
should
movie.
be.
It's not a kaiju film though.
Because he's bigger than any other shark. He's a monster shark.
He's horrifying. Oh, by the way, guys, has anyone seen The Host? South Korean.
Oh, fuck
movie?
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
And
I
but I
almost did
criticized
as my
that
movie
film
tonight to decide on
because they
something
had to
else.
make Americans the bad guy at the opening. And I'm like, oh, come on, guys. Stop
Well-
that shit. Korea does it all the time.
So
It's
this is
so
true
much
here
fun.
too. To be fair, you can read a lot of the focus on pacifism in post-war Japanese film anime as an implicit
Yeah.
self-criticism.
It is.
Exactly. Not only that, there's films in if you watch Black River or a lot of Kobayashi films, a couple of them. And then there's too many. But there's military, like there's American military bases. There's films about literal post-war Japan with American military bases in Japan trying to like establish like this post-war vibe. And even those movies are very critical of like Japanese society. They're not super like aggressive towards Americans. Like I'm telling you, it's like a lot of Japanese artists despite like woke up and they were like, fuck, we fucked up really bad.
Well,
A
the
lot of
movie
To be fair, a
Harikari.
lot of Japanese soldiers tossed babies up in the air and then caught them on the end of their bayonets.
They
So,
sure
yeah,
did. Yep.
Yeah.
They sure did.
The movie. Did you guys ever see the film Harakiri, 1962 film?
Harakiri, yeah, it's fantastic. It's Kobayashi.
Whatever his last name is.
Masaki Kobayashi, yeah.
Kabayashi. That was
Yep.
very critical of Japan.
Yes, it was. The Shogunate, yep, absolutely.
Oh, it was a great movie.
There's another-
one of my favorite samurai films that's actually critical of the samurai and
Yes.
critical of the Japanese Edo period and of Imperial Japan.
It's fantastic. And there's a book.
That's what I
called-
love about Rurouni Kenshin as a manga.
Yeah,
slash
Kenshin.
anime. Yeah, Kenshin is
Absolutely.
arguably one of the greatest stories ever told, in my opinion, about that era of Japan.
There's a book by a Catholic Japanese writer called Shisaku Endo. He wrote a book called Silence. It was adapted by Martin Scorsese. But it's very critical of the Japanese shogunate, like the emperor, and like the hierarchy of who gets villages that are getting their food stolen, all this nonsense, and like taxed into hell, and like they all die because they can't even eat their own food that they raise. But then
Right.
not only that, it's actually critical of how they it's amazing. It's critical of it's how they treated Christianity when there was missionaries in like the late 1500s. And they tortured the fuck out of them, and they put them into, they crucified them in the ocean and they drowned. But like,
oh yeah, I remember
it's
that
like
movie.
it's the most pro like missionary, pro Christian, anti totalitarian, like fuck atheistic society book ever. And then both of the films are fantastic. I mean,
So Japanese
Yeah.
crucifixion story real quick, because Lofty, you said crucify me. I took a few years of Japanese when I was younger, and my sensei, she was Japanese. She was fresh off
Yeah.
the boat. She only been in America for 5 years, and so she was telling us a lot about what life was like in Japan. And she was mentioning when missionaries would come over to try and teach Christianity, one of the things they would teach about was Christmas, and of course with Christmas comes Santa Claus. But because of the language barrier, the Japanese couldn't quite figure out what that meant. So you can to this day buy Christmas decorations that are crucified Santas because they thought that.
Have you seen Tokyo during Christmas? It's insane.
yeah, they
It's just-
love it.
It's amazing.
funny
It's
to
the
me
most
that a language
beautiful thing I've
barrier-
ever seen in my life.
Let me tell my quick story. I was in Japan. I was for a foreign exchange program when I was like 16, 17. And I stayed with a host family. They happened to be Christians. They gave me a Bible when I walked in. I was like, what the fuck? And I'm a Christian, so I'm like, well, that's based. And I think there's like 1% of the whole country is Christian. But anyway, my roommate was staying with me. This guy's like American, Vietnamese, American or whatever. And
when you say roommate,
the guy that went with me to this host family, we went in pairs. So I was like, I was a kid, so we had like a friend.
Oh.
And these hosts.
Was there any hand holding? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
No, I was with my boyfriend. I hated this guy. So anyway, this guy says, okay, they gave us, my host family on day one, they gave us these little fans that we could like use to like, because in case it was hot. And on the fan, it had a Japanese kanji. And I asked what it was, and they said it means kamikaze, which translates to divine wind. It's a Japanese, it's a divine wind, and it's a fan. So, whatever. And I was like, oh, thank you. And I said, domo arigato, domo arigato. And my fucking friend goes, he literally does this, and I'm not even joking. I wish I was on camera. But he takes his hand as though it's like an airplane, and he goes, oh, kamikaze. Woo!
Oh my God, no.
And he makes an explosion sound, and then we all just stood in silence for like 10 seconds. It seemed like an hour. And I was like, dude, that's the most racist thing you could ever do. What is going on? He did not understand what
I could be more racist than that. That's hardly racist. That's nothing.
Yeah, but it's so offensive. But it's just offensive. Like he's bringing it up like it's so horrible. But I felt bad. I was like, no. Kamikaze is divine wind. But anyway, it's cringe.
Like the pilots?
Oh my God.
I mean, they gotta know that that's what those guys were called, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a secret.
Yeah, and they'd always scream about that Jewish book, the Torah, right?
It was about the sacrifice that you are the divine wind for Japan. And it's the whole religious aspect of dying for your country thing that they were called that.
You know what's weird? Like we nuked Japan.
I'd pull a hammy before I did that for sure.
Twice, by the way, Lofty. Twice.
I know I want to, but I can't.
Think about this. We nuked them twice. Now what are they doing? Now they're our allies, and they're contributing to society in like the most insane technological ways. And it's
they were our allies before World War II as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't until their imperial buildup that they started becoming problematic.
But isn't it weird though that like a lot of people use this excuse like, oh, we wronged this group of people, wronged that group of people, so that group of people will forever hold a grudge against this group of people. And it's like, I mean, like, can we really stop with this like perpetual destruction, like war, like attitude? Like, how did Japan move on? How did Japan and Germany and everything? How did they move on? And how are we like sophisticated now? We don't like we're not barbarians anymore. Like Japan, I don't want to get political.
But like, Dragon Ball Z, which is the greatest story of all time. So Japan did all right. I'm pro bombing the fuck out of Japan if it gives us DBZ. So,
oh my God,
that's a base take.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Minecraft.
Well, they do bring it up in the film. If you didn't catch it, that they were being very critical of what Japan was doing that led to those bombs going off. That because they refused to surrender, they kept lying, and they were building up arms within the country. That's what that plane was all. That's why it was mentioned about that plane. That was one of the things they were building to continue the war to fight America. And America found out that if we continue this war, we're going to lose millions of Americans. Not to mention Japanese.
Right.
We're going to lose millions of Americans. And they said it's better to drop these two bombs and end it than to suffer the loss of life.
Yeah. Say you're welcome. You're welcome, guys.
That's right.
We spared you.
Platoon has some theories.
I agree with it. Platoon's really, it's all our fault. Well, your fault. Canada had nothing to do with it. So I'm good over here.
I would love to. I don't. I'm not historically intelligent enough, but Platoon sounds like a person to talk to if you want to talk about the World War II era. But I need to learn more about that. I need to read more about that shit.
I was raised by a professor of history, so I had it beat into me as a child.
Yeah.
let's also not forget, before World War II even kicked off, there was an event where the Japanese did something so horrible to the Chinese that they called it the graping of
the
of
graping
Nanking.
of Nanking. That's right.
Yeah, that's
These are
wild.
like, you're like, oh wow, they're just some friendly people on an island. All of a sudden they just turn.
Yeah, but what
like,
were the main
That's
team
not what I
wearing?
said.
no, I know, that's not what you're saying. I'm just saying
Oh, yeah,
any
yeah,
person that would posit that opinion. I'm
Yeah,
saying like, dude,
true.
listen, these people
Their
got a
treatment of
tendency.
their treatment of POWs from Koreans to
Unit
the
741
Chinese
or
to the
whatever?
United American and Allied forces is just atrocious.
You're lucky to have been taken captive because they didn't normally do a ton of that.
I think
No, they usually
Ask the
kill
Filipinos how much they loved their Japanese
you know
emperor.
who's on the right side of history? If you're like, who's on the right side of it? I wonder which side I should take. Take
Canada.
the side of whoever treats their POWs with more respect. Probably. That's probably like, if you think about World War II,
About Hamas and Israel and
Sure.
Palestine.
yeah, well, no, I'm thinking of like Germany in World War II. Would you rather be a Nazi captured by the Russians or
Nazi.
by the Americans?
Oh, absolutely. I met German POWs.
I'd rather be
Yeah.
a Nazi
Said
that's not captured
that-
at all.
When they were
Yeah.
captured, they prayed that there was Americans that were captured.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah,
did.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Because we
'Cause
treated our POWs very well.
Or Japan. Yeah. Well, not very well, but like,
No,
yeah, I
we did.
mean,
We fed them very well.
yeah.
They
mean,
integrated almost every POW that I took care of because I worked in the medical field for years after the military, and met a lot of former German POWs, and my God, they sang praises for the way they were treated by the Americans.
Little
They were
Platoon
fed
says,
well.
is there a scenario where I don't have to be a Nazi? yeah. The scenario is you're one of the fucking few people that refuse to participate in that society, and you're either delusional that you think you wouldn't participate, or maybe you are one of those few people.
Well, there are a lot of
go read it.
Germans that weren't Nazis. A lot.
Yeah. I mean,
They were
ordinary men.
subjected to the rule.
I read this book called Ordinary Men, and it's kind of fucked up. It talks a lot about how a lot of these Germans and a lot of these people like refuse to sort of participate in some of this shit. And it's like,
But they were too afraid to fight against it.
they were terrified, and like they got punished, and I think some of them were killed if they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
So
It's real.
like I said, I'm not like super versed in history. I need to read more about it, but it's true. Yeah, I know Little Platoon's joking, but like some people legit say that seriously. They're just like, I would not have been a Nazi. I wouldn't have been one. I'm just like, yeah, you would have.
Would have been the best Nazi I could be.
Would
Squeak
have
'em up.
been Hitler's top guy.
That's right. Yeah. Right hand man. I'm here for you. I'll carry your bags, whatever you want. I'd rather be Shobijin. I don't know what that means, but Squeak 'em for $20. Thank you very much. What is a Shobijin? Anyone know?
I don't know. Sounds like a Godzilla monster. Because Shobijin.
No idea.
Here's a good palate cleanser
Quick
for
Google
this.
search, it translates to small beauty. So
Small penis? Oh, beauty.
This is for you, Squeak.
It's the two little girls that sing from Mothra or Shobijin.
Oh, the Cosmos.
Oh, she is a big
Little
Mothra
tiny
fan.
small beauties is what it is.
That makes sense.
And that's Squeaka.
That's Squeaka. That fits. And here's Don's favorite song.
Enough. I am Gandalf, and Gandalf means me.
Gandalf? Not the wandering wizard.
The same.
I still can't get over that's actually the dialogue in the book. I was like, what?
Okay, let's.
Me.
Gary is a very talented artist and writer, and
Tell us about your new
handsome
book.
man. Would you like? Can I play the commercial first? Want to do that first?
Yeah,
Or
this
do-
is featuring because originally Dale Dye was going to do the voice, but he got sick, and so I was talking to Tom
I got
about
him
it.
sick.
He goes, "Fuck it, I'll do it," and I'm like, "All right, fuck you, Tom, do it." So Tom did the narration for the trailer for my book.
All right.
I love voice acting. It's fun.
This warrior hides his identity, but his identity isn't the only secret he has to keep.
David Hayter.
After grievous wounds received during combat, Tier 1 operator John Russell begins to recover and comes to terms with his new reality of being an amputee. And as he learns how to use his new prosthetic limb, he finds himself caught up in the bureaucratic red tape that too many wounded veterans experience, the exhausting medboard process. Out of sheer frustration, John
It's doing the
what?
thing, Don.
Oh yeah, that's your.
I know. It's Trudeau.
Let me see if I can pull it up on mine if it keeps acting up.
Yeah, let's do it on yours. Yours always works.
All right, give me 1 second.
Sorry about that, Gary.
No problem. The campaign is active right now. One of the most expensive things, and the biggest concern, is getting the money for Richard Bonk to draw his chapter. Richard Bonk is a Marvel DC comic artist. We've worked together on multiple projects. We like working together. And I have one chapter in the book that is a flashback. The rest of the book I drew. It's 155 pages when done. Right now, I currently have 97 pages done. And I need to get the funding to pay for the printing, but more importantly, to pay Richard Bonk for doing these pages, because I promised him I would pay him a proper page rate. He deserves it. He's a great artist. And it's a flashback that explains the hatred between the main character, John Russell, and the villain, one of the villains. He's just one of the villains. He's one name, like Sting. His name is Rollins. And he's a horrifying character.
Did you mean to make two wrestling references?
I love wrestling.
Rollins.
No, I meant Sting, the singer. Gordon Sumner. You're muted, dude.
Oh, there you go.
So what did you say?
I said Sting the wrestler, Steve Borden.
But no, I was referring to Sting, the singer. Like Billy Crystal once said, "Oh, look, there's Sting, still looking for a last name."
Donnie boy, is it
Good.
working?
So the whole thing
Yeah,
is
so.
that he's not only trying to hide his identity, he's hiding the fact that he's doing all this combat in the city of Seattle, fighting criminals, real criminals, not just Billy. He makes this comment to a reporter: "I'm not looking for Billy Bob, the local weed and hash dealer. I'm looking for the guys that are manufacturing, distributing, paying for it, and making money off of this." But it gets darker than that when he discovers that the biker gang that is involved in the story is also human trafficking.
Nos is a
And-
fan now, Gary.
Oh.
Nos loves anything Kinski related.
Oh, I love Klaus Kinski. He was nuts, dude. That guy was insane. I watched that movie, My Best Fiend by
Yeah,
Werner
I did
Herzog.
too. Yeah.
That's a great documentary.
Yeah, dude.
But it just shows you how insane Klaus Kinski was. But at the same time, he was a brilliant actor. In every movie he's ever been in, including some of the bad ones, he's so much fun to watch. He's something.
True.
He's something else, dude.
Donnie?
After grievous wounds received during combat, Tier 1 operator John Russell begins to recover and comes to terms with his new reality of being an amputee. And as he learns how to use his new prosthetic limb, he finds himself caught up in the bureaucratic red tape that too many wounded veterans experience, the exhausting medboard process. Out of sheer frustration, John takes it out on the criminal scum of the city. But when reality kicks in, John realizes he started something that's having an impact on the greater world around him, and thus has to reevaluate his motives. And moreover, just how far is John willing to go to finish this war he's declared against the criminals in Seattle? And will he even survive? From the creator of IDW's award-winning graphic novel Code Word Geronimo comes a new story about a different kind of warrior, Vindicated Inc., the first of its kind disabled veteran action hero comic. The Vindicated Inc. graphic novel crowdfunding campaign on fundmycomic.com is provided in the description of this video. We hope you become a contributor. Please share this link.
It's also in the description of this video and in the chat pinned. And thank you, Soul Assassin, for also bringing it up in the chat.
Basically, I've made the announcement already, but I'm going to say it again, that Script Doctor is the editor for the book. He is a big supporter of what I'm doing. Chuck Dixon and Mike Barron and both sang praises for this book. They got to read some of the pages that are done, and they were blown away at how realistic and how gritty it is, because it's not your typical comic book. It's dramatic, it's dark, it's violent. It was my response to what would happen. It was an argument, a debate we were having of how would Punisher or Batman exist in the real world, because every version we've ever seen of Batman, those guys would get busted. They absolutely would. They create too many paper trails. And
I think you're really underestimating how much money what having a whole lot of money can get you with in a way within America.
Unless he's killing the people that are doing things for him, it will get found out.
I'm just saying, we didn't even get the Epstein client list. Bruce Wayne might be able to get away with it.
Nope.
I'm not fucking with you, obviously. This looks like a great book. Oh,
well, see, I'm very literal. So if you say that, I take you literally. And I was, no.
Gerry, I got a side question before we go any further. Did you ever get a copy of your G.I. Joe cover?
No, I never did. Look, IDW's got its head up its ass, and I miss the old IDW that I worked for, but I'll never work for him again. Tom Waltz is still there. God love him. He's sticking it out, but they're in so much financial trouble. It's Ninja Turtles and My Little Pony's not going to save them. They're in trouble, and that's because they bent the knee. The reason I wasn't doing more G.I. Joe covers is because the guy that was put in charge of G.I. Joe didn't like American veterans and refused to work with me. And I was supposed to be the new cover artist as of 2014. I got to do one cover for them that was a year ago, finally, because he left. He was fired. He was a card carrying commie, and I get sick of people like that don't like American veterans because we're patriotic and all that bullshit. Fuck them. So this is what I'm doing. I'm doing this because it's an homage to the men and women I've met in the military that paid a great price, survived, but lost parts of their body. The opening page of the book is my statement that Vindicated Inc. is my love song to every veteran who left a piece of themselves on the battlefield or brought a piece of the war back home with them. And I mean it. And I love veterans.
This story means a lot to you. And you've talked about this book and this story for years. Like, I'm glad it's finally
10 years.
Yeah.
I stopped because I was struggling as a single parent because I wasn't getting any child support and I wouldn't get help from the state. I had to pay for everything myself. And I struggled as a freelance artist. It was hard. And I started taking jobs I wouldn't normally take because I have to like somebody to work with them. It's a rule that I live by, still do. And I took jobs with two guys that I would normally not work for, but the pay was offered. And then I found out one was a complete nut job and the other one was just a fucking lying asshole. He's a lawyer. He was a New York lawyer and he lied and he got caught in a lie. And he tried to pull legal shit and try to threaten me. And I'm like, you don't fuck with the guy making your food or the artist drawing your artwork. Don't ever do it. And I screwed him right back. And but at the same time, it caused psychological damage for me that I internalized and stepped away from being creative. I didn't want to do comics anymore that I created. And so it ended up on the back burner and I kept waiting for that passion to come back. Then the writer's strike happens this year and I spent 6 months without a paycheck because all my contracts were through either film or through writers that I would work with that work in film. 6 months without a paycheck. Suddenly I panicked about a month ago. And I'm like, that panic unlocked the fuel for the fire in my belly. And suddenly I'm ready to do this again.
Are you talking about residuals, paychecks?
No, paychecks where I get hired by writers a lot of the time to do comic books or graphic novels. And they almost all of them make their money working in film. And I also work for Dale Dye, the guy behind Platoon, Band of Brothers, and all that shit. He's my boss. And that well kind of dried up this year because they fled Hollywood, went to Texas, and this year was tough. And so I had no new film work this year.
I figured you were just a YouTuber. I'm sorry, I'd never met you before.
No.
Yeah,
So-
I say this. People don't know who the fuck
Hey, buddy.
I am. What I
So
do.
Gary,
No clue.
as you're talking, I'm going through some of your work here from your Wix site, just so you know.
I can't know everybody in the world. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm not, people don't know me. That book took me 2.5 years. That one you just went over.
Yeah.
And I hate
have
that
this.
cover. That is not my artwork. I got so angry about that cover. I threatened to force them to take my name out of the book. But in the end, we worked it out.
That happens with movie trailers. I hear a lot of the times the directors are like, "Fuck that trailer," and then they have no say over it.
Well, I just hated the artwork on here. I'm not going to say the artist who did the cover because I broke.
Was it Zach's?
No,
definitely not.
It was not Zach.
No.
I did the Alan Wake graphic novel. I was a
Oh,
senior artist on that. I was a senior artist on Iron Sky. I helped them make the money to make the movie. It was my graphic novel. And that's artwork by my buddy, Darren Douglas, an amazing painter. I've tried to get him to work. He might end up doing one of the covers for Vindicated Inc. I'm hoping I can get him to do it because he and I go back a long way.
This was
my
Geronimo
military.
Dale
This is my Military Writers Award winning book. I created the book. Dale Dye and his wife Julia wrote it for me. I drew it, and we got the award. We're the first graphic novel to get the Military Writers Award.
Wow!
And so not only did we get the award, but we're the first graphic novel to ever be awarded that. And I do a lot. That's my daughter there. Those drawings in the comic art, just below Spock.
Wow.
Both of those are my
Zoe.
daughter Zoe, appearing in my books. She's in a lot of my books. She would pose for me and everything.
That is cool.
The hand belongs to her Uncle Mac. He was one of the villains. But I do a lot of, I can do cartoons. I've done political cartoons, but I like doing realistic. I actually redrew this cover as far as he went, and now he's wearing the mask, the helmet and the mask, and it's fucking awesome.
Have you ever done manga?
No, but I read manga. I love manga.
Yeah.
Although I used to tell people, I don't understand Japan. All their stories are backwards.
That's stupid. It's the most normie take. Those people are dumb. So who cares? Get over it. Read it backwards.
I know. I knew how to do it. It's just I said that to another man because he said, "Do you like manga?" I went, "Yeah, I love manga, but I don't understand it. The stories are always backwards." And he just sort of looked at me and I went, "I'm fucking around. Yeah, I know that."
So the link to this site is in the chat. You check out the rest of Gary's work. And hello, DJ Ronnie G. Awesome when it's here. Hypnotics come through. Great group in the chat tonight.
We're going to be having a really
B-roll.
cool new tier on this, Zax. If you've seen the cover, if you go back to the link for the campaign, scroll down and look at the artwork on that. And one of the alternate covers that you see right below our photos are next. There it is. That artwork right there, I am negotiating. In fact, I just talked to him before I jumped on with you about doing a 1/6 scale and a 1/12 scale versions of the full body shot of him in that pose with the battle damage MTech mask that he's wearing. That's a ballistic mask, and normally he wears ballistic Oakleys underneath it. All of it was destroyed in the battle. Of course, this is not from the book. My covers are I love creating atmosphere for my covers, but it's never part of the story. It's just something that I thought would be fun to draw, having the character in that moment. And
Shibwell gets it.
Oh, absolutely. And I work with a lot of people like that. Script Doctor is one of those people like me. Tom and Andre are like me. That's why I'm such good friends with Tom and Andre.
Hi, Jenna.
I'm hardly ever on Midnight's Edge, but I'm very close, talk to them every day. It's like I have conversations with Tom and Andre every day.
So please go check out Gary's campaign. He's definitely worth a look, and he's a very talented guy, and he's put a lot of his heart into this. So,
but we are going to be putting the statues in there, so keep looking for that because you'll be able to get those with different tiers, and it's going to be kick-ass artwork. The
That
statues.
art is so amazing. I really can't get
Thank
over it.
If you scroll down, that's the real story right there, by the way. If you scroll back up, there's a newspaper clipping there. In 1989, I'm not going to say the name of the gang, but a gang in Seattle fucked with some Army Rangers, and the Army Rangers got full battle rattle and assaulted the gang's house and fucked them up.
Is the gang the Blows Blangels?
No, it begins with a C, and it has an R following that. And I'm not going to say any more letters. And
that's interesting. I was just going to ask you what the inspiration was but this is something that's
this is one of the inspirations, absolutely. And I wanted to show how a Punisher would exist in the real world and not get caught. And they would have to be a skill level of a tier 1 operator. They would have to be able to isolate, work on their own. All of their funding, all their weapons would be gained through killing and or taking over bad guys' places and their property. And you cannot create a paper trail. If you create a paper trail, they're going to catch you. And that's the frustration the FBI and the police have with finding this guy, because they can't figure out how he's doing what he's doing. They know that it clearly has to be a special forces guy. He has to be a top of the line. And one of the main characters is a cop named Frank Tedesco. And he's based on my buddy Shane Moore, a best-selling author and a retired cop and veteran of the U.S. military. And his character, it looks just like the real Shane Moore. It's drawn just like him. He's half American Indian, half white, and he suffers problems with that. And I put those political issues into the book that he deals with on a personal level. But then he's also really one of the best cops going. He's former FBI, and he figures out who this tier 1 operator is, who the vigilante is. But when he finally thinks he's caught him, John comes out from behind the desk with a leg missing, and he's in a wheelchair, and he completely writes him off. It's a little, I'm giving away something in the story, but I'm not giving everything away. Mm-hmm. And I'm just telling you that it's something that's going to haunt the cop later in book 2, that he had him, but because he was a disabled veteran with a missing limb, he writes him off as being the guy doing all this damage to criminals. And it's a really good story. I took a lot of time in writing this. Damn. And a lot of famous people have read it. Chuck Dixon, Mike Barron being two of the guys, Punisher, Batman writers. Yep. They love it. They're like, this is what comics should be or could be. And it's a movie in graphic novel format.
Well, I don't know if you watched David Fincher's The Killer, which is based on a graphic novel. Have you seen that one?
Yep.
It's so good, isn't it? It's fun. I think
Gary didn't say anything.
Oh, fuck. Oh, do you not like it?
It was okay.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is graphic novels have. It's okay to have like a movie vibe to like a graphic novel that's like very.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
the graphic novel. I got to tell you, The Killer, the graphic novel is better than the movie.
That's what I hear. I'm a big David Fincher fan, so
I like the graphic novel. My problem with that one is, and I'm a big fan of Fincher too.
Yeah,
but I was very disappointed with that film because it seemed like he missed two extremely important points, and I don't want to get into it. We could have a whole discussion about that. Fine. He missed some really important points, and he left way too much. Because look, I do like the fact that he does treat his audience like they're as intelligent as he is.
Yes,
I like that. But sometimes he leaves stuff on the floor that he shouldn't leave on the floor, and it makes it too ambiguous. And it leaves too many questions.
Yeah, I appreciate that too.
You need to tell a story. You need to tell your story and make sure that your audience fully understands your characters.
I think it depends on the audience.
It's easy. My writing professor.
I know what you're saying.
My writing professor said this. It's important to remember this. It doesn't take any work at all to create a character that nobody cares about. It's work to create a protagonist that your audience identifies with or at least cares about. And it felt like he didn't put the work into the character.
Too much to get into.
Yeah, it's too much.
I would
too much to unpack.
I would say
We can do it another time.
If you're a fan of Les Samurai or Melville or Alain Delon or any of those like French New Wave films, there's a lot of he combined the graphic novel with like sort of that kind of filmmaking, right? And also like sort of the literally me character is, you know, all of his narration about normies and about
What is that filmmaking style called? I forgot the name of it. The French started it.
French New Wave. New
But
Wave.
there's a specific genre that it's called Nouveau something, and I forget the name of it.
Nouveau Vogue or whatever. Well, Les Samurai is an Italian film, but yeah, I know what you're saying. I can't remember what the name is. I think I know what you're talking about. But yeah. It's more about vibes than it is about like character development.
And see, that's for me, that's not interesting. What's interesting for me is character analysis, understanding what drives a character. What's you know, why does this character care about something, and why should I care about what he's doing? That's
he's not
two important questions in filmmaking. And if but you don't do that, I'm not going to get too into it.
Well, the killer is not
the
killer is not supposed to care about anything. That's what he says in the first monologue.
Yeah, but he does.
That's the point. It's like even people who pretend not to care about life and about anything at all have something to care about. And like there's narration throughout the whole movie that like really, I just did a whole video review about this for Kino Corner, but like watch Kino Corner's video when it comes out, see what you think, you know, make your own decision. But like, yeah, I know what you're saying. It's not for everybody. It's definitely not a. Wait, did you like the movie Drive with Ryan Gosling?
Yes, I did.
That was fun.
Would you say they're similar or?
I feel that the director did a better job of making you identify and understand the lead character better than Fincher did with the killer. I think he left too much on the floor with that character that you get more of in the graphic novel. Than you do in the film.
That's fair.
But it's one of my little nitpicks with Fincher, with the film. I understood what he was trying to do, but I think that he kind of failed in a way. But I love his other films. I mean, I'm a big Fincher fan. I like where he goes. I like the way his mind works.
Yep.
And I love his fascination with evil. He has a very serious fascination with evil people.
Yes, he does, and he takes them seriously. And that's why people are like, oh. Fincher is problematic because he makes evil characters empathetic, and it's like, oh yeah, go fuck yourself. That's what he's really good at doing, so he's going to continue to do it because
that's how killers get away with things.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you look at Ed Kemper. Ed Kemper, who is in his he's a main character in his TV series that I hope he eventually comes back to. Ed Kemper is a horrifying character, but he's an empathetic character because you understand that he was abused. And it led him to become psychotic. And it led him to do the things. But he had the wherewithal to understand and stop killing girls and go kill the person that he really was murdering because of.
Right.
And once he killed her, he was ready to surrender.
Yes.
He wanted to be stopped. And I also was really tormented after finding out that I used to like to listen to unabridged audiobooks. And I found out that a lot of those books are read by Ed Kemper, and it freaked me out.
No
that
way.
I would sleep to that fucking guy. I go to sleep to Ed Kemper's voice.
Yo, that's
Cat
up. That's crazy.
All right. We're going back to kaiju.
Let's get out of this.
And
oh wait, I have one more question for Gerry. Like, are you the Gerry of Backdoor Gerry fam? Like, I'm curious. People mention this, and I'm like, what is this all about? Like, I just
from Latino.
Yes, he is. He's Backdoor Gerry.
Shut up. Shut up. You and Six are the reason why this is still going. Polly started it, Latino Slant. It made a joke one time, and then he said, you guys go run with that and make it happen. And that's exactly what Zax and Six did. They ran with it. And I was so fucking annoyed with it at the beginning, like, oh, please make this stop. But finally, I embraced it, and I just said, fuck it, I'm going to have fun with this. And so now, if you're in the chat of my show, Pop Culture Minefield, and I'm on there, and you do a good job of making a backdoor reference. You can't just say backdoor and you get a video. But if you do something that's interesting and throw the backdoor in there in a way that's funny to me, I will play a video for you, a backdoor video. And it's a line from a movie or a TV show of somebody saying, maybe we should go to the back door.
It is stuck. It is stuck to Gary.
It is, and that's all because of you and fucking Six. You cocksuckers.
You're welcome.
Gary, Gary, I'm writing. Don't leave after the stream. I'm writing a comic book. I'm writing an outline, and I would love to chat with you. So we'll have to. Yeah. We'll have to network. I would love to talk about like working with an artist and all that crap. As
Zach will tell you, I am absolutely there for other people. I love helping other people. I love giving him advice that's grounded advice from experience, not just because I think that's the way it goes. This is what's worked for me. This is what hasn't worked for me. I can tell you lots of things. My daughter loves it too.
But he does. He loves Jon Favreau. That's his one downfall. So
yeah,
save
your Star Wars.
There's nothing that proves that I'm wrong about Favreau. Nothing. You can throw all
the better, Gary. I love Jon Favreau as well. It's just too bad that he's getting shafted and rolled over as of late. When Jon Favreau is doing his own thing, he's great.
Here's what happened, because I actually know what happened. What happened was this: he got permission to do what he was going to do it, and we're going to distract Kennedy and make her do other things. And so Chapek actually got her off of Star Wars to work on other stuff. Okay, you remember what some of that stuff was. All of that stuff, Bob Iger, when he stepped back in, which I also predicted, if you remember, Zach's, I predicted he's coming back. He was never gone. He was there the whole time fucking with Chapek, him and his board members. He hired all those board members that are non-entertainment people. And
he got grilled for that.
Now, Chapek got Kennedy off of it. But when Iger got him fired, removed, he immediately put Kennedy back on Star Wars. And that's when The Mandalorian went to shit.
You're saying Bob Iger is the Barack Obama of Disney.
He is. I have said this time and time again. He keeps saying, I'm going to clean up this mess. I said, you're the one who made the mess, and you can't clean a floor with a dirty mop. Bob Iger is absolutely a shitheel, and he deserves everything he gets.
The dirty mop in this situation?
He could be.
It doesn't take much for Gary to get wound up, but if you do Jon Favreau, it always works. Platoon is saying, so the contrived Mandalore as Jerusalem stuff in Mando 3 was what? Somebody else?
By the time they got to season 3, it was over for Favreau. Favreau was done. If he wanted to stay on, he had to shut his fucking mouth and do what he was told to do. Filoni, of course, is, if you've seen my meme, it's pretty funny, that he joined in the, I took an image from the classic movie that shows the murder of Caesar. And I put Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger and J.J. Abrams. And then just recently I added him jumping in. He says, hey, guys, can I jump in stabbing? Because, he stabbed Lucas in the back, too, with everything. And part of that was him betraying Favreau. So Favreau is just useless now. He's got no future with Star Wars at this point. And Star Wars is done.
Well, the Godzilla director, back on track here, wants to do a Star Wars movie.
Don't care.
It does. Oh, do no. I would absolutely.
Don't care.
I can't like to have a Japanese dude have his take on Star Wars, considering how much of George Lucas was inspired by Kurosawa. I would give it a chance. Absolutely.
Under Kathleen Kennedy, sure.
Well, no, and then maybe
okay.
not
Hey. Wait, Gary, can I ask you? Okay, hold on a second. Did you watch Star Wars Visions?
What is that?
Did you watch Star Wars Visions? It's an anthology series under Kathleen Kennedy, or supposedly whoever.
I don't even know it. I've let go of Star Wars.
It's an anime. It's an anime anthology series.
Oh, I saw that one. It was okay.
Some of them were great. Some of them were fantastic.
The animation was great. Stories were.
No, some of the stories were great. And The Ninth Jedi was fantastic. The point I'm trying to make is if a Japanese filmmaker wants to do a Star Wars movie and is given the same kind of freedom to do what they want with as the Star Wars Visions directors were in the
as Star Wars Visions season 1, Lofty.
If it's a Japanese produced in Japan production with no interference from Kennedy, I would absolutely watch it.
Okay,
I was called a heretic.
Star
Wars Visions was better than Mando season 1, and I stand by that.
I agree.
And I like Mando season 1, but Star Wars Visions was better than Mando season 1.
I know, but I'm saying it's still a Disney fucking production, and it's like they had no
Right.
hands on. They had no hands on. The Studio Traeger's production IG were allowed to do whatever the fuck they wanted with the Star Wars brand, and they did whatever the fuck they wanted to do with it. So why can't that happen with like somebody like this guy, the Godzilla director? Why is that not possible? I don't know. I don't know.
Kennedy.
It's not that it's not
mixture of
possible.
Kennedy and
Someone shows
Iger.
that it's highly unlikely.
It's highly unlikely because Kennedy and
They already
Iger.
did it with Vision.
Once
so.
Iger put her back in charge of Star Wars, you just
guess
won't
Vision's
get
is
anything
anime.
fun. You won't get anything that's not politically motivated.
So
You know,
that was that arc not, as Platoon is saying here, about him, Favreau exploring his own identity? Was that not what that was about?
what are we?
I
what are we
didn't watch
asking
it.
here?
Mando season 3, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
is the
He
entire
had
arc is
very
about-
little to do. Filoni was more involved with season 3 than
I-
that writing was so bad. For
I gave up.
season 3.
Oh, horrible. It's horrible.
It
I
was
gave up.
just
Show.
terrible writing, and I'm like, I
Chef
know
was good.
Favreau's writing.
Favreau made
I
Chef that was
know
good.
Favreau's writing,
that.
and that was not season 3.
All right. I'm going to play a quick palate cleanser here. This is Don's actually his
Thank you.
music.
Thank you.
It's quite loud, but it's worth it.
Beta male, beta, not an alpha male. Beta male, yes. Beta male, beta. You're a beta male, you're a beta male, not an alpha male. Beta. What a shame. Mommy's boy.
Love that song.
Oh, it's great. It's a jam for sure. So we got
Pretty cool. I like that.
we have Gypsy Danger from Pacific Rim. We could talk about that versus the Iron Giant in this round. I got clips for him too. I'm mostly prepared for this
Wow.
today. Yeah, I know, right? Surprise myself sometimes. Whoa, where'd Gary go? Oh, there he is. Okay.
I'm ready.
Thought we lost it there for a second.
No,
it's
I'm,
Dawn.
normally I'm a
It's
power
Leon.
bottom, but you're making me a
Hey,
power
StreamYard
top.
being
There we go.
StreamYard.
You're a power bottom, like Jordan Peterson.
my God.
Ethan Klein called Jordan Peterson a power bottom.
I actually tell my
Wow.
girlfriend
That's
that
hilarious.
that I'm gay for her and I'm a power bottom. That means I want her on top.
My God. Oh no.
All right.
Is that
I don't
because-
know.
That was a good scene in that movie. I like that film.
That movie holds up too. Really
John
well.
Mahoney is so good in that film.
But I like both of these films. Like, Pacific Rim is just fun. Like I'm not saying it's a good movie, but it's just a fun watch, and I like some of the combat and the action. And it is good.
Sometimes
Here's a bit of-
fun it makes up for not being good.
Yep.
Here's a Jaeger.
I love that
Yeah,
music too. That's a good soundtrack.
That is
I love
Romani.
that movie.
Romani. That's
Why?
that's the composer for Game of Thrones opening, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Rami
Yep.
Kawadi.
Yes. The Game of
He was
Thrones opening, dun 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 dun. That's the same composer.
Never heard of it.
Pacific
Uh,
Rim.
Yeah, Don.
Ramin
off.
Djawadi is like so good.
Yeah.
So I do agree with that. I think that Favreau gets to skate easy on this stuff. But anyways, I do agree on that one. He does. He gets a lot of credit, no blame.
Little platoon. You can blame me for all your failures if I fuck up your edit, your Ahsoka.
It's
whatever
hard
the
to
fuck-
blame
the
somebody
marbles.
when they're
Fire
relegated
Lofty.
to the background.
Fire Lofty.
Fire
Yeah,
Lofty.
I'm Little Platoon's editor. I'm working with him right now, and
I'm now boycotting Little
I
Platoon
probably-
until you
no,
get fired.
I probably fucked up, but he hasn't told me yet, so we'll
It's
see.
a deal. There you go. Well, that's solved.
It's a deal.
Yes, let's go.
All right.
I'll take the
Well-
Kathleen Kennedy thing and take all the blame.
Why is the robot named Gypsy Danger? That's like, it's from America, right? This is the American funded.
It's like the American
Jaeger.
the Japanese chick.
But like, why Gypsy Danger? Why is something American about it? Like, Something
Do you even
like,
say gypsy anymore? I don't know if you can say gypsy, can you?
I'm pretty sure it's a slur
He's
of
got-
my
he's-
people.
He's your people.
I'm
If you're
Slavic.
PC,
There's
you
comic
care
books-
about that. I'm not, so I'll continue saying gypsy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
The-
like
the
that
only-
When you get
movie.
gypped off, yeah, gypsy.
Yeah.
The only problem
That
here
movie
is that
was fun.
we're comparing a robot with 2 pilots to a robot with AI.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not
Yeah.
really a fair comparison.
I don't care if it's
plus,
fair.
like Pacific
you.
Rim is
I don't
like
care if it's fair.
kaiju and like mechas, so like I don't
Yeah.
know. I like that. Mechas are
I-
fun. Fighting
Yeah, mechas
kaiju's
are fun. I agree. Mechas are fun, man. Hey, guess what they're directing? They're doing the new Gundam live action for Netflix. You guys know about this?
It's not live action. It's animated. It's just animated really realistically.
No. The guy does Kong Skull Island is directing a live action Gundam for Netflix. You're talking about the Vengeance animated series. There's
Yeah,
two
that's
separate-
is that what you're referring to?
No.
There's gonna be a live action Gundam.
Yes, the guy who did Kong Skull Island is directing currently in pre-production of a live action Gundam series for Netflix.
I don't know if
It'll
that's
a good
look
or a bad
good.
thing yet.
I don't know how it's gonna be story wise, but I'm sure
I
it'll
know.
look good.
I know. We'll see. It's the problem is going to be the politics, obviously.
Yeah, it's
That's
kind of like
how-
looking at the Fallout video or the adaptation for like what is that,
Yeah.
Amazon or something.
Yeah,
Well,
but Fallout's not the same as Gundam. Like I can see Fallout working like politics wise and whatnot. Gundam is
so political. Yeah.
Yeah, so intrinsically political in its own sphere that that's
I just hope
worrisome.
they don't start talking about like fascists and like MAGA.
Ugh.
You know, I hope they stick with like whatever their mythology already is. You know, if they can be political with Gundam, but it has to be with like the Mars Federation or whatever the fuck.
in universe politics, the way that's supposed to work in everything that's political.
If they do that, it could be good. I actually like Kong Skull Island, and I think that guy's a good director. I think the story was kind of whack, but he's a big nerd. This guy, Voight. I can't remember his name.
John Voight.
No,
He bit George's pencil when he bought his car. Seinfeld
No.
reference.
No, Jordan Voight Roberts. He's also a friend of Hideo Kojima. He's a big fan.
Oh,
He
well,
was
that's a
also-
mark against him.
No, he's also planning on doing a Metal Gear Solid adaptation, which is
Another mark
after-
against him. Got it. So
I
so
know.
far we're
well,
over.
go fuck yourself.
I'm a fucking professional Kojima hater. I won't lie. Like I actually respect Metal Gear. I just hate Kojima.
Oh God, Kojima's base.
You guys
Kojima's
watch the
separate-
animated series, Skull
What?
Island?
No, is it good?
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was a fun show.
Is it a canon with the movie or?
Yeah.
Wow.
Gary, I need your vote, Gary. What do you prefer? Pacific Rim, Iron Giant. We'll do it that way.
Oh God, but for different reasons. That's hard to. Oh,
These are hard.
because I love
Who would
the
win in a
animated
fight?
film so much, but I also really love Pacific Rim for different reasons because it is a kaiju film. If I had to, okay, let's say Saturday coming up, you say which one do I want to watch? I'm going to go Pacific Rim. That's the only way I can decide. One I would want to see on a Saturday afternoon.
Look, I've seen the Iron Giant enough times. Iron Giant's great. It's just the Pacific Rim is like you're like I feel like a kid watching that movie. It's just like so it's just so much like if only the American Godzilla movies put that much like nerd geek like passion into those movies where all the fights are awesome and they don't like cut away to like even the human characters are always like trying to like get better pilots and like become better at like piloting the thing and like there's it's not just like regular humans that are like fuck oh God in heaven.
You're comparing Del Toro to generic Hollywood directors. So
yeah, dude, the characters. Let me just quickly say the characters in Kong Skull Island, the Stranger Things girl and the black guy and her friend, her Australian friend, when they're sneaking around and going inside of like a Apex base or whatever, and then they go to Hong Kong and they sneak in the base. It's the most pathetic storyline ever. And then they spill alcohol on a computer and they fuck up Mechagodzilla just enough so that Kong can kill it. It's like this little fucking dumbass Australian kid spills alcohol on a computer, and that's why Kong and Godzilla beat Mechagodzilla.
I don't even care about that. It's the fact they gave the kill to Kong when Mechagodzilla is arguably Godzilla's greatest nemesis, and Kong gets the fucking kill. I love the movie, but that upset me a wee bit.
Well, okay, that's because whatever of your autistic nerd weird thing going on. But I'm
you want more movies to be nerd.
Lofty, you're calling people autistic?
Okay, no,
shit.
I'm criticizing. No,
fighting
I'm criticizing bad storytelling, and you're just being like a fan of Godzilla or whatever.
I mean, this is rich coming from you after Avatar. Your defense of their storytelling and lack thereof,
I don't have
child antics able to get people through very dangerous situations.
No, I don't have a problem.
I love
if
it.
You think, wait, what did you say? What was your problem again?
No, I said it's rich coming from you when you talk about Avatar.
No, you said who killed Mechagodzilla again? I can't remember.
Kong did.
Kong brought the axe down, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
And he got the kill.
No, what you're talking about is like I don't know. I mean, I agree with you. Okay, but my point is that doesn't make the movie bad. It's just the problem with that movie.
I didn't say the movie bad. I said I liked the film. That's just one nitpick I have. One thing that bothered me.
That's fine, but the movie is terrible because, or not the movie. The movie's fine, but like half the movie sucks ass because the human characters, and that's the worst scene of the whole movie is when those kids do that nonsense. They're involved, and they're involved way more than they should be, and the problem is not Kong, beat Mechagodzilla. The problem is American Hollywood writers think that they're like, they're essentially like talking down to us as an audience, thinking that we're stupid and that we think, oh, a kid pouring alcohol on a machine and like causing, that's so clever. That's so clever. Oh, go fuck yourself.
I mean, I agree. I think they're both problems though, because when you've got Kong, who is, getting the win on Mechagodzilla, when you have literally decades of rivalry between the characters of Godzilla and Mechagodzilla that fans have come to know and love over the course of literal generations, having that kill stolen is a slap in the face to literally generations of fans, which is also a writing issue because you're not good enough to write something that doesn't slap fans in the face.
Yeah,
so
that's
I
another
agree
problem.
with you. We both agree. Like it's a matter of which is worse. Objectively, I agree yours is worse. But I'm just saying, let's not forget that Kong getting the final kill is fucked up.
No, those movies suck. No, the only good thing about those movies is the CGI. That's it. That's it.
I will say
CGI.
I want to add something here because the human element is what's wrong with that movie because the story arcs aren't complete. They don't even tell complete story arcs because way too much of the human story ended up on the editing room floor because there are things that are brought up in the film that are never explained. And that annoyed me.
There's an interesting human story hidden somewhere in those films. I agree. It just doesn't come to fruition.
It doesn't come to fruition. So, and because of that, it fails. It's a failure. But I think this also goes to another thing because somebody brought up Jurassic Park earlier.
Jurassic World?
You've got the Jurassic World film where that little kid unleashes the dinosaurs on the world. And
that's a terrible movie.
It's so bad because I said the only way I will go to see the next film is if they kill that little bitch at the beginning of the film because she is a monster for what she did.
No. Oh, okay.
I don't know, man. You did say you go to sleep listening to Ed Kemper, so.
True.
Fuck you.
That's a problem. I got a message here I need to read out from Copa Catania. Copex Mac, he wants me to say to the chat. So these are his words, not mine. He says, Kong got the kill for reparations. I don't know what that means.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
I'm Canadian, so I can't say things like that, but Copa did.
Kamala Harris wrote the script.
There you go.
No, look.
Kamala Harris wrote the script.
Jurassic World Dominion is terrible. Also, the kids in Jurassic World, the first one, are fucking useless. Those kids are stupid.
They're kids. Like, what are they supposed to do?
Oh, come on.
I was smarter than that at that age.
Compare them. Compare them to the kids in Jurassic Park. They're so much more interesting.
I also got to tell you, technologically, they should know better than this. That's not how laser targeting works at all.
No.
It's nothing like that. I was in the military. We've done laser targeting, and it doesn't. You got to paint the target and keep painting it until it locks in.
Like Prey,
Yeah.
like Predator.
It's just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, just shine a laser on it, and the dinosaur just automatically knows to get. It wasn't even there at one point. It didn't
Stupid
see
storyline.
the laser touch the thing. Like, what the fuck? The laser leaves residue? What are you fucking saying? That's not how lasers work.
Terrible writing. You know what the worst part ever of that entire trilogy is? Now I'm sad.
I hope it cleans
wish
itself on camera.
I need a cat.
I should
No, you
have
don't.
set up like a little city or something, but I have all like my little cars
Oh,
at home.
that'd be awesome.
California. That would have been
That'd
really
be
cool.
awesome.
The worst part of that whole trilogy is when they have an underground black market for dinosaurs. Okay.
Oh my god!
And in Fallen Kingdom, and they're selling dinosaurs. Get this, chat. If you haven't seen this movie, I'm not exaggerating. They're selling dinosaurs on the black market, actual dinosaurs, for like $10 million.
Oh yeah,
20
is that the
20
one
million.
with like Chris Pratt in it and stuff?
Yeah.
That's the second. It's the second one, Fallen Kingdom, and people
Oh,
are like,
I never
people
saw it
are-
because I thought the first was so dumb and like the freaking
Oh.
dinosaurs are like running around in the desert. I'm like, that's dumb.
No, that's the last. Well, no, they're selling these dinosaurs in the
It
black
is dumb.
market, and people are bidding on them.
It is.
And they're like, I'll take it for 30 million. I'll take it for 40 million. And if you know anything about like anything at all, dinosaurs would be on a black market would be going for like $100 billion, not 10 million. Like the five. Are you kidding me?
What are
I
they,
could-
Dr. Evil? $1 million.
It's the dumbest. I can't even believe how wrong they got the finances for that. It ruined the whole movie. It took me out of the whole movie. It's like, what did people have like? Did people think like $20 is like rich? Like, what is going on? It should be, guys. If a dinosaur existed in real life, how much money do you think somebody would bid for it in real life?
Billions.
Billions of dollars.
Yep.
Okay. Now that movie is so pathetic that's like not even the worst part of the whole movie. But anyway, I just had to point that out.
Gypsy
I know,
Danger
all
wins
I had in
52
my
to 48.
head, though, is the mental image of Elon Musk
Yo.
buying dinosaurs now.
Oh, he would buy it for a lot of money.
Oh.
But
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's
First
gonna
one-
need something to tow that god awful truck thing that he put out. Like,
Yeah,
God, like
yeah,
what is
Miller-
that?
Cybertruck is awesome. Fuck you guys. The Cybertruck looks so cool.
Like, how do you even use that? It's so ridiculous. Like, I mean, do you
I don't
even
care how
go
you use it.
off-road
It looks cool.
How is it even a truck?
That was close.
It doesn't matter how it's a truck. It looks cool. You underestimate the rule
You
of
did it.
cool.
Oh my God! Don't get me started on Brandon Sanderson. It's too late.
Platoon is right. They made these stupid raptors
It is stupid.
war like weapons of war, and it's like that's not the spirit of the original movie. Like that's my favorite Spielberg movie of all time. It's his best.
It's also a
movie.
terrible idea. Like, it would absolutely not work at all,
It's
Yeah,
and
why
be
would
way more
you?
expensive than it's worth.
right, and it's like it's oh my God, dude. And they didn't.
Indeed.
They don't even show how it's like. They don't show how it's used or anything. It's just like it's all about like, I'm gonna buy this creature, and then it gets fucked up, and then everybody dies. I don't know. It's a terrible movie.
Velociraptors are also only about 2.5 foot tall, and they never really.
Yeah, they're
corrected
like the size of a poodle.
Fuck,
Just throwing that
Cooper.
out there.
That's good.
The
That's
the
okay.
dinosaur that they were referring to, calling a raptor, was actually the Deinonychus.
yeah,
It was taller, but
What?
it's not an interesting name, so they stuck with Velociraptor, even though they were little tiny guys.
I'm okay with
This reminds
Spielberg
me of
changing
the-
history.
God, it was like a Jurassic Park toy from like the latest movie, and it just was like, what? I had to take a double take on it because of the name
Oh,
of
yeah.
it.
So it's
From
okay
a
if
certain
Spielberg,
African
okay if-
country, and I'm like, what?
it's okay if Spielberg rewrites history, but it's not okay if Ridley Scott rewrites history. Okay, I see. Oh, okay. All right.
Ridley Scott should not be writing anymore.
No, he's not a writer. He doesn't understand storytelling or structure. He's what we refer to as a very good
Oh no.
cinematographer. He's very good at cinematography, and his best films, the films that have the best reviews, are always the ones that were strong scripts from the
Wait,
beginning.
who are we talking about?
Ridley,
Ridley
Oh
Scott.
yeah.
because I'm a big fan. Like my number 5 top films of all time, it'll
Blade
never
Runner?
change, are all Ridley Scott or John Carpenter films. Blade Runner number 1, The Thing number 2, followed by
What?
Escape from New York, then The Duelists, which was Ridley's first movie, and number 5
Oh,
is
The
Big Trouble in
Duelist
Little
is really
China.
good.
Fuck. What about Alien, dude? That's my top 5.
Alien's up closer to about 8, but the top 5 are nothing but John Carpenter and Ridley Scott,
Based.
because they altered the way I look at film.
Based.
But Ridley is a visual director, and he's a genius when it comes to that. But when it comes to storytelling, he's not very good, and it's one of his fault. And I've had opportunities to interview him, and I refuse to interview him because I don't.
Because he'll tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, he'll tell me to go fuck myself because I have been critical of him and his storytelling, and so I've just said it's better I just don't. I've interviewed a lot of the people from Blade Runner because I'm the founder of the Blade Runner fan club, and had a lot. I'm friends with a lot of the cast and crew. I'm friends with Sean Young. She's a close friend of mine. I was friends with Rutger Hauer for years.
Wow.
Hold on. Before Gary, I have to call you out for this because I was watching when you had Sean Young on the show. And
Don't you dare.
She was just about to get into Harrison Ford's predilections, and you cut her off and changed the subject, Gary.
Because I had other people there from the crew that made them uncomfortable.
Oh my
And
God.
I was like,
yeah, I'm the Gary. No. Shut down.
No, I had to shut that down quickly.
Oh.
Because
You did. You did.
She comes to you with her heart, and the other guys are more like I had the one of the producers on there. I had the art director from Blade Runner on, and it was a great show, by the way, if you ever see it. But I did do that because I knew that everyone knew I had to wrangle Sean in that interview.
Did you ever wrangle her? Yeah.
I had to, and she's such a sweetheart, and I'm a big defender of hers. I don't like the way she got treated by Hollywood. But at the same time, she's so passionate that she asks questions that make other people uncomfortable. I have to wrangle those questions. And I felt bad afterward. But I'm not going to apologize to her because she knows that I have to wrangle the questions. And I want to keep I wanted to keep the show on track and not make any of the other crew from Blade Runner uncomfortable. And
it was
uncomfortable.
It was almost so awesome, Gary. It was almost so awesome.
Katie Haber is a close friend of mine, and we wouldn't have a Blade Runner if not for her. She was the one that went to bat to make sure that film came out the way it did at all. And she was always there fighting for Ridley. And she's also one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood to never get in front of the camera. And I still think she's in her 70s and she's still gorgeous. But between her and Victoria was the second unit AD in training for Blade Runner. And I'm close friends with her, and she's like always on my Facebook page, and she has the best Blade Runner stories I've ever heard. Hilarious Harrison Ford stories. And I want to get them all back again. Andre just talked to me 2 nights ago that we got to do another Blade Runner show. And I want to have
you do.
Because God only knows how much David Snyder, I don't know, these guys are up there in age, and we're going to start losing them. And I want to be able to do at least one more Blade Runner show to let these people tell their stories again. And I just want to have Sean on by herself so she can not feel wrangled by me.
Awesome one remembers the story to you. So these are the 2 now we have up are the Troll from Netflix Troll, which it's a fun movie. It's a fun monster movie. If you haven't watched
I've still not seen it.
I recommend watching it. It looks way better than I expected. And versus King Kong. So this is the
Why
Troll.
does it have a tail?
I don't know. Good question.
It's weird.
Balance.
Papa?
Yeah, the minute those eyes open, I'd move.
I'm out.
Get the fuck out of here. Don't stand there.
It's worth a watch. It's a fun movie. It's not complicated. Some of it's kind of dumb, but it's a different take. I like it that it's that there's some of that mythology there from the Trolls. They do work that into it.
I like that.
Yeah, and here's Kong.
You know, like 40 or 50 people got killed when he stepped on part of that counting tower.
I know,
It
right?
was
Yeah.
instantly crushed in the base.
That scene was
Did he create-
ridiculous, like, but it's fun.
It's so
Did he
much
create
fun
a
to watch.
splash?
I don't know.
I know. I was looking at it. I'm like, such a giant
monkey.
thing that would jump on something in the water should create like a splash and it should be moving and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they followed physics very well in that.
Which version of King Kong was that?
That
Sisu
was
does
Kong
well.
versus Godzilla one, the first
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
when they
okay.
fought.
I like the
Let
one with
them
Jack
fight.
Black in it. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, Peter Jackson's Kong. I think Peter Jackson's Kong is so much better than people
Yeah.
give it credit for.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
I
not
think
as
it was
good
a
as
really
the
good movie. Like, I was
second best Kong after
surprised.
the original.
Lady
As
B,
many
you're saying?
little problems that it had visually, I did like that they stuck to the original story.
That was cool.
Lady B, you were saying something?
Oh, I just thought that was an interesting story because I remember seeing it in the theater and I really was surprised because it was like Jack Black and he was not in a comedic role and I thought he did particularly well in it.
He's
Also
done
on
several serious
Mandalorian.
roles that are good. He does very well. And Jack Black is a great actor. He just gets typecast into the funny fat guy.
Yeah,
But no,
that's-
Jack Black
yeah,
is a
exactly.
very well-rounded actor.
He is the first person in film to show what it looks like if you got hit by a 50 caliber round in the Jackal.
Oh, interesting. Like, did you just explode?
It just obliterates his arm. He's
Wow.
hitting his hand. He's aiming for his hand, but his entire arm explodes.
That's
Have you ever
random. I
noticed
was
him in
watching some
Waterworld?
videos of ballistic gel things with 50 cal. That's weird.
It's
Random.
nasty.
Yeah.
Because I've
Have you
got
ever
stories.
caught his small part in Waterworld?
What?
Kevin Costner movie? Yeah, he's got a non-speaking role as one of the plane pilots in Waterworld.
Wow.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you can look at it and
I gotta go
visibly
back and
tell
watch
it's
that.
him, but he doesn't have any lines. He's
I
really
gotta
young.
go back because I'm a big Jack Black fan from early on. Tenacious D, I already knew who Tenacious D way back before anybody else did. And when they got their TV series, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I had their TV series on DVD. Yep, it's great.
It's how, like, my daughter asked me, because I raised my daughter by myself, okay? And she didn't know her mother. And she was, she asked me one day when she was about between 5 and 6, she says, Dad, how was I born?
Oh,
And
God,
I
I've heard this story.
She didn't know who her mother was. And so I'm like, I had to make up some story. And I used Tenacious D as the basis. I said, well, I rolled over in a wet spot.
Jack Black.
I became pregnant with you. And 9 months later, I pooped you out my butt. You're a butt baby. She'll
And she
tell
got
you
picked
that's
on
really what I
relentlessly
told
at
her.
school for that.
No, she did. She would tell people that, and the other kids, and they're like, really?
Well,
She's-
do you have a favorite King Kong movie, Gary?
Oh my God, really?
Yep.
I love the original Kong from 33. But I really did like Peter Jackson's take on it. I'm okay with what they're doing with the current Kong, but I don't really consider it King Kong. It's like a different version of alternate universe version of Kong. And for all its faults, I still love the 1976 one with Jeff Bridges and what's her name? Jessica Lange.
That's classic too, yeah.
And
Lofty?
Kenny, by the way, what's his name? I just said Kenny, not Kenny. The famous makeup artist that worked on Star Wars, Rick Baker, as Kong. That was him in the makeup. He played Kong in that movie.
Rick Baker, was that the R2D2?
No, Rick Baker, the makeup artist. He played
Oh.
Mighty Joe Young too. He
Oh.
did the
Yeah, I was just
makeup for
mentioning
Mighty Joe
that.
Young.
That's another kind of like giant animal movie.
I like that movie.
Yeah,
Disney
me
made it.
too.
It was a remake of the classic film. I thought they did a good job with it. And Rick Baker is so good as Mighty Joe Young that you forget you're looking at a human in a costume. It was that well done. King Kong from 76, not quite as good. But he was put to the mat because Carlo Rambaldi supposedly was going to build this full-scale Kong and it was going to move, and it didn't work. It was like Bruce the Shark from Jaws. It didn't work. So you only get to see it for a couple of seconds. The rest of the movie is either Rick Baker in costume or it's just the shoulder and heads in the hand of the giant Kong. But I like.
Is that from Trolls or Troll Hunter?
Troll. This is from Troll, not Troll Hunter. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a different film. I've got it in my video queue. I'm gonna watch it now. Because now that you said it's a fun film to watch, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. You kind of like I wouldn't say that you pull for the Troll, but they do a good job of showing the history of the mythology of it, and like there's a backstory to it. It's not just a random.
What part of the world
monster.
is it from?
Norway.
Yeah. You know what a good Norwegian monster movie is? The Ritual. Have you seen it?
No.
It's about I think it's about Loki, actually. It's about like some Norwegian god, but it's like Blair Witch Project where it's like, I think a lot of it is I think it's similar to that. And like the friends lost in the woods, but I'm telling you, the monster design in that movie is insane. Somebody in chat knows what I'm talking about. The Ritual has really, really cool monster design. Came out like 5 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
I know the film you're talking about. I've never seen it. But yeah, the monster in that is like the version of the Canadian American Indian evil spirit, the Wendigo.
You're talking about you're talking about Antlers.
Is that okay? Then
Antlers is a very good movie, but they
I was gonna
fuck
ask
up
that.
Wendigo lore quite a bit. Like it's a great monster movie, but it's not really. It doesn't adhere to legit Wendigo lore. That's such a dumb thing to complain about, but that's my favorite mythological monster. And like I'm so retarded that I believe in Wendigos. I believe they're real. So I was like, oh, it's sort of disappointing from a lore perspective. But a fun movie.
Wait a minute. Wait. Two things. Number one, it's called the Jotun. Is the one I was talking about. The Jotun. It's a Norse mythology creature. Jotun or whatever.
Jotun.
But
I've just been watching like The Lost Kingdom, so I hear all these people going like, you know how in Rings of Power where they all like totally overemphasize the pronunciation of token words.
Jotun.
They do the same thing in that, and it's really
that's
funny
the
'cause
monster
it's
right
like,
there, Zach. If you want to grab it in the private chat.
Okay.
Leon, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It is so cool the way they film this creature in this movie. It's really awesome. And it's fucking disturbing. But anyway,
Well, just this photo I showed that, Zach. That's a creepy looking creature.
It's horrifying. It's a pretty good movie. It's on Netflix or whatever.
I'm going to check it out.
I meant to watch it. I just kind of forgot about it. Like it kind of came and went fairly quickly. That's what she said.
No, Leon said that something about something. What the fuck I'm sorry, I'm drinking. What did you just say?
I said that Antlers is a great movie, but they fuck up a bit of Wendigo lore, which I'm the retarded individual who yeah.
Okay, so what do you mean by that? Because number one, I'm writing a comic book. Okay, it's a horror comic, and there is a Wendigo in the comic. One of the characters. Anyway, I don't want to spoil too much about it, but I know I think I know what you're saying. Are you saying they fucked up the lore, as in like the pre Wendigo lore or the post Wendigo lore?
A little bit of both.
What?
Okay.
How is there pre?
Okay,
and
so
post-Wendigo
you know
lore?
how like vampires became like this sort of romanticized version of vampires, and originally they were like strigoi, they were like just cannibals basically.
Okay.
Right. Well, Wendigos were sort of like similar. Like it became like this.
Yeah,
like, thing
I'm
with
actually okay. There's Wendigos in my Western fantasy story, so I've read a lot about them. So I didn't know there was a pre and a post Wendigo thing here.
Well,
Wendigo started gaining popularity in like the 90s, and like I'm sure like Lofty was meaning, they sort of got romanticized around that time, and then like the Charmed and Supernatural, and then more and more things kept making new Wendigo stuff. That video game Until Dawn, and they start leaving out the more traditional aspects of Wendigos in favor of making them
how they're like embodiments of like cannibalism and the cold and this like never-ending hunger and this sort of like like greed and wrath and stuff like that.
It was never like a person with antlers, like, but that's cool. I don't care about that stuff. I think like romanticized mythology is fun, like vampires and Dracula, all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's why, I think the movie Antlers is a good movie. I don't think we've ever gotten a good, accurate representation of a Wendigo on screen, which I would love to see a more lore accurate Wendigo story.
You believe in Wendigos?
Not. I don't believe in them in like the all the stories are true. More what I believe is the like because I am I'm a religious individual, and they're the taboo in pretty much all religions is cannibalism. And one of the things about Wendigos is eating human flesh enough eventually taints you. You become this monster. I believe that could be 100% real. That eating humans does in fact do something to you that is unnatural and can change you in a way that's monstrous.
Damn. Yeah, dude. That's fascinating. Oh man, I want to fucking finish my comic, man. I'm at the point where I'm looking for a potential artist. I'm trying to do a manga, so it's really difficult. It's like
hit up Draw and Talk. He's a brilliant manga style artist.
Also, you can post an ad over on
DM me. I've got people I can link up with.
Deviant has classified section. You can post an ad there. Be careful looking at guys that haven't done projects before.
Yeah.
Young artists have a tendency of getting jobs and then they're not available when you need them to finish their work. It's always better to get somebody who's actually working full time as an artist.
That's my problem. Like consistency, because I plan on doing like multiple chapters and it's like multiple campaigns, and it's just like, well, can you come back in 2 years? Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of freaky. It's freaking me out, honestly. I don't know if I'll ever do the comic, but I'm writing it at the moment.
The ritual is in Sweden. Jace is here. And he's
I'm sorry. Sweden.
You're insulting his culture.
Yeah, they're all the same. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
That's why I refer to Andre from Midnight's Edge as a Swede.
Yeah, they're all.
I'm sure he loves that.
He doesn't, but he
Mothra.
So Mothra versus the giant uncircumcised penis.
That is a freaking.
I know what I'm voting for.
Dick. Oh my god.
Yeah, it is.
Mothra.
I just got sick. I just got sick.
Are the sandworms kaiju?
I mean, so the suggestion I had, which was a good one, was
Tremors did it better.
The Graboids from Tremors.
Graboids.
They're just not as big
Tremors
as.
was so bomb.
That's all. But Tremors is a fantastic movie. I love that.
Oh yeah.
Is it a good movie? I don't know, but I love it.
Yeah,
I love it because the two main characters, Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward, are so much fun to watch.
Yeah,
they are. Fred Ward should have done more, don't you think?
Yeah, he had a chance. I think that his career got screwed up. I don't know why, because he's a good actor, and it just sucks that we didn't get more of him.
Good night, CLS. All right, so let's get this one. This is the last poll for this. I'm going to raise the poll.
Look, I don't like King of the Monsters. I think the cinematography is like vomit inducing in terms of like I can barely tell what's happening half the movie. You know what I mean? Like half the movie they're filming the fights between all those monsters through the windows of like a fighter jet. And it's like it's so obscure. They obscure all the action. Everything else is like it's so hard to follow what's happening. Only a few times do you get like really clear visions of what's happening, and those are like just basically really high quality screensavers. I don't know, man. Like Godzilla versus Kong. Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I mean, Godzilla versus Kong did a much better job with the cinematography. It pulled back. It let you see the action. You know, it's just better, I think. But the original Mothra, the one I'm looking at right now, is that what you said, Lady Balefire?
I like the original Mothra. Like that was just a fun one because it seemed like the first Godzilla movie was kind of serious and stuff. Like it was obviously a little campy
Yeah.
because the special effects they had, but the tone of it was more serious. And then
Very
it's like
serious,
the Godzilla versus Mothra, like the original one. It is so freaking campy and cheesy, and it's like the moth looks so silly, and then like
Yeah.
the little twins and the music that comes on whenever Mothra comes out, like the way the like legs move. I mean, I loved it for the cheesiness factor of
It's
it,
cute.
like
It's cute.
and the weird random Japanese stuff. So
Yeah, Sandworm.
True.
I just look at this. I look at this picture and I think of Butterfree from Pokemon. I get sad. I get so sad.
AJ, what's
Chat knows what I'm talking about. Rebels.
Rebel sucks. AJ, are you drinking tonight?
Yeah, he probably is. Oh,
I got
somebody in
that
chat
first
said, dude, somebody in chat said there was a tsunami
What?
Where?
in Japan today. Is that true?
Good.
I don't know.
Good. Where have you been this whole time?
In the back trying to look for facts about
waiting-
tsunamis.
Waiting for the Japan sucks so you can pop in and be racist.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I'm
it was.
looking it up.
Tremors was great. Shield Wall. Easily crushes Mothra. Yeah, I mean,
Did you see the latest fan theory?
Okay, maybe I was
That
wrong.
the character from Big Trouble in Little China, the old magic guy, is also in the movie Tremors. He's the guy that owns, or in the Tremorverse, and he owns the local store. And they believe that it's the same character. There's this fan theory that it's the same character from Big Trouble in Little China.
oh, I get it. Okay.
They say that the feds let him go. He had to promise not to do magic anymore, and he took the money that they gave him and he bought a little store.
He got
Out in
got by a
Arizona.
graboid. That's what happened.
He should have used the damn black magic.
Should have. You should have one more
Okay.
time.
Speaking of Big Trouble in Little China, by the way, your base for your John Carpenter takes.
Yeah, those are
I-
my, 3 films by him are my favorites.
I personally think The Fog is underrated. I think it's a fucking.
I agree with you. I love the movie The Fog.
I love it too, and I actually like it more than Halloween. I'm just gonna say this because I think they do a better job of like world building and like making you sort of just the mystery is so. Halloween obviously has like the slasher vibes, but The Fog and the coastal town and the mystery, everything is just more fascinating. I don't know, that's my opinion. I don't know.
Not to mention, one of the best part about that film is that the main protagonist of the film is a 45-year-old guy banging a 22-year-old.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and then he just met her like she was a hitchhiker.
Picked her up, man, and they're in love.
They're in love in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that
It's so
whole
dumb.
autumn spring romance.
It's so dumb, but it's hilarious.
And Adrienne Barbeau is awesome. I love her.
Yeah,
She's awesome.
I kind of feel like you two need a room. Loft.
Yeah. Wow.
We do.
Yeah,
We're
you
gonna get a room
leave
and-
us alone.
Oh,
Stop talking.
I gotta
I
address
was
something in
talking-
chat real quick.
Yeah.
Goober is saying Halloween 3 is better than Michael Myers. Goober, I 100% agree. That is the
What?
best take I've seen in chat all night. Halloween 3 is the best Halloween.
I don't have anything. I differentiate because I love Halloween 1 a lot, the original. Read the book,
Pretty
and it explained what the evil spirit is and all this stuff is great. But Halloween 2, not as big a fan. But Halloween 3 was its own movie, man, and I fucking loved it.
It's
I
great.
love
They
it. It's
should have
Season of the Witch.
continued that idea of making Halloween
The
films
anthology.
anthology films. Halloween 3 is so
Studio didn't want to
underrated.
do it. Studio didn't want to do it. And that's when Carpenter said, okay, I'm stepping
That's
back.
what bothers me with Bob Iger. He's like, oh, there's more studio intervention, the better the movie. I'm like, what the fuck?
Can you believe the stupidity of his statement?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yes, I can't believe the stupidity of anything that Bob Iger says. I've
Yeah.
lived since 2016, you know?
That
Like,
guy's a
was it-
fucking idiot.
Now, to be fair, maybe he in isolation, maybe he's actually correct because the current writer director crop that they have in Marvel is so fucking bad that maybe studio intervention would be like a solution. Normally that's a terrible idea.
Well,
But-
where it works, where
Yeah.
studio intervention works, because I work in the industry, and I'm going to tell you where it does work.
Yeah.
is when they lay down the ground rules right at the beginning, where they don't have to intervene.
No
later.
politics. Yeah.
No politics. We want a movie that's designed to make money. And if you're going to produce something and lie to us, because there are directors that lie to the executive producers, and then they make a movie that, like Stanley Kubrick was known for doing that, because the backers, IBM was a backer for 2001: A Space Odyssey, and the film that he delivered was not what they were promised, which is why they backed out. And they actually sued to get their money back.
Did they win?
I don't know, but there was money exchanged. I will say that. I don't know if there was a judgment received, because I've never seen anything. It may have been sealed. I don't know. But what I do know is there was money exchanged in order to appease IBM for what happened. Not only that, but NASA was not happy.
As somebody that works with IBM on a regular basis for my day job being in IT, fuck them. Just throwing that out there.
Well, yeah. I just don't think. I think when I heard Bob Iger say that, I was like, part of me was like, ew, that's gross. You're like a corpo scumbag. And then part of me was like, maybe if the studio would have told these like activists to go fuck themselves, like the movies would be better. I don't know. You know what I mean?
There's absolute logic, because they're supposed to be supplied with the dailies. They're supposed to be seeing how the film is going, and they have every right to expect a commercial film.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
and they do. The corporation does. But don't fall for the lie anymore, because we've been lied to for decades, saying that, well, we know the people out in the front of Hollywood are very lefty liberal and blah, blah, blah. But the people running the business aren't. That's a lie. We know that now. That's a big.
Then I love it.
Good night.
Yeah.
Oh, bye.
Godzilla versus Gypsy Danger.
Holy shit, yo.
Isn't it obvious?
So obvious. I mean, this would be if they were fair sized, like if they were scaled properly, it would be an interesting fight. But like, yeah,
Godzilla's bigger.
Godzilla's dominating in this one.
Yeah.
Wait, I mentioned, so I just want to briefly touch back on this. There's a Korean movie called The Host. I think Gary saw it. Who else has seen it?
We talked about it earlier.
I've seen it. It's great.
Movie I picked for tonight. It's so good.
Koreans aren't real people.
Here's why that no. Here's why that movie's so good. Number one, Bong Joon-ho is a massive Steven Spielberg fan. Okay, so he's already, he's on record saying that he was influenced by Jurassic Park and Jaws or whatever. You could tell, by the way, based on his style of directing, like the framing and the poignant narrative and the family values and all that stuff. The reason why that movie is so good, though, is because the characters are the focus, and it's not even about the monster, even though the monster is really cool and stuff.
No, it's about a family.
It's about a family, and it's about a Korean family that has very, like, they have Korean values. Like she's an Olympic archer, which is a very Korean thing. It's also universal though at the same time. Like you have this, they love each other. They have generational family, grandpa, daughter, middle child or whatever, father. And it's about them coming together and using their ability, their knowledge and their skills to like work through problems. And it's also a comedy. Like, they're kind of a fucked up family. Like they're kind of funny. Yeah. Like they're kind of haphazard and random. It's not contrived. It's not like trying to make like, I don't know, man. It's just like, it's so it's just such a brilliant. Bong Joon-ho is my favorite director, living, period. He's also done movies like Memories of Murder. He did Parasite, which won Best Picture. He's doing a movie with Robert Pattinson coming out called Mickey, sci-fi movie. He did Snowpiercer.
Mickey 17 is looking
Mickey
so
17
good.
Yeah, he did Snowpiercer with Chris Evans. He did.
That was good. I saw that too.
If anybody is looking for a really, really, really good dark comedy, go watch Barking Dogs Never Bite. It's his first movie. It's fucking amazing. I can't describe it. But yeah. Anyway, I'm a big nerd about him.
No, this one's done. Like Godzilla's going this one, but Monarch. I've been watching Monarch. You've been watching Monarch. It sucks. Don't watch Monarch. It's boring. And it's not just like boring, like the typical boring people say. Well, it's not enough action. It's a lot of characters, and there's no action, and the characters are annoying. Like, and it's Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell are both awesome. I like both of them, and to make them be less than highly likable it takes some talent.
Bro,
the dialogue is so bad, and it's written like it's got to be written by a dude who's trying to be a feminist, and the way they write the women, they're just
Girl power.
all unlikable. It's just they're cunts essentially.
They're all emotional.
He said the word.
One is good looking. I'll give her that.
They're all like negative. They're all negative.
No.
Like the one girl doesn't like the guy because he's a misogynist, even though it's 1950. It's like obviously he's a misogynist. Okay. The other
That was
girl
such a
hates,
dumb scene.
Well,
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna make a correction here. Misogynist
You can
and,
be wrong, Trip. It's
and
okay.
sexist are two separate words, and they have different meaning. One requires hate, and the other one just requires thinking men are better. They're different. And
men are better.
I don't.
Let's talk about it.
I like separating those two. Men were sexist in the 50s. Misogyny requires one thing that sexism doesn't have:
A good time.
hatred. You
Oh,
have to
okay,
have
okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
you really
they
have
were
to have that like belligerence there.
Yeah, they were
Misogyny gets used way too much, and it bugs the hell out of me.
That's fair. It's semantics, but you're right.
There's a
Words
scene.
matter. Words
There is a
matter.
scene in this where you're supposed to realize how much of a, I don't know, it's how much of a patriarchy it is when we have Wyatt Russell meet one of the characters, this Japanese female doctor, and for the first time, and they jump around in time a lot in the
that
show.
scene
And
is so stupid.
isn't the dumbest thing? Like she goes, yeah, she goes, I'm looking for Dr. Rhonda or whatever. And she goes, oh, I'm Keiko Renda. He goes, oh, you must be his daughter. Like, nice to meet you. Super polite. And she's like, and he's like, no, it's me. I'm the doctor. And
Yeah,
it's like,
she should have said it if it was a real
I'm
moment.
Dr. Rhonda. Yeah.
She would have
should
said,
have
I'm
it.
Dr. Rhonda. I'm Dr. Rhonda. And then he went, oh, okay. And then shake hands with it. That's all that would have happened.
And for the rest of the show, she demands people call her doctor.
They forced the sexism in that scene.
It's dumb. It's a dumb scene.
That's not even
Poorly
the
written.
worst.
It's not the
Zach,
worst.
I've been watching Monarch because I couldn't give two shits less. But can I ask a question about it?
Yes.
Because I didn't even know it was set in the 50s, so you just said that.
Yeah.
Godzilla 2014, the Gareth Edwards one, made a big deal out of the fact that humans had no idea about these monsters. Now, Kong Skull Island takes place in the 70s, but the whole point is they're
We
isolated.
find out that's bullshit through the old film strips.
Well, it was I'm wondering how the show reconciles, because Kong, it makes sense to take place earlier than 2014 because everyone's isolated, so nobody believes them when they come back to the real world or whatever. But like, how do they reconcile it being in the 50s?
Well,
with
there's
2014?
from what I've only watched half of it, and from what I've seen, there's a nuke that goes off or whatever, some sort of bomb that goes off that may have incapacitated Godzilla, and that's why.
Right.
The military knows about it and nobody else.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's what it appears to be.
Wait,
but
a
they haven't-
nuke incapacitates Godzilla when in the same series,
Yes.
nukes supercharged Godzilla?
Yes. Yeah.
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 No, not
Oh, we're
it's,
not
no, it's not.
watching it.
It's not a nuke. I don't think
It
it's
is-
a nuke. I
It was a
think
nuke.
Oh, it was.
It was an atomic bomb. Whatever.
Yeah. Fuck. So
So they can't even follow their own in-universe rules. All right, fucking whatever.
look,
It-
I
it
don't pay
was just
attention really.
man.
Look, I don't consider this Star Wars. It's fucking Godzilla. I don't care necessarily if there's like plot holes. I just want an entertaining movie. Guess what? Monarch.
Agree
is.
wholeheartedly.
Not
Oh,
entertaining.
Monarch is not entertaining.
No.
It's
Nope.
it's characters is sitting in cars having conversations. Guess what? One of the main characters is a black woman in Tokyo
Oh,
who
yeah.
happens to be a genius hacker.
Which is funny.
Number one,
It takes place in the 50s?
no, modern day.
It jumps around in time.
Oh, I was going to say, because hacking didn't come about till the 70s. Okay.
Yeah,
never
no,
mind.
modern day.
Yeah, it jumps
No.
around.
No, guess what? The main character is like this Japanese guy, his father, whatever. It makes sense, whatever. And his best friend happens to be the only black girl in Tokyo that knows how to hack into like a mainframe or whatever.
What are the odds?
It's no, dude. I've been in
What
Japan.
are the odds?
There are no black women there. It's so unlikely, and it's so obvious that they're just doing the inclusivity thing.
I've also never met a black woman super into computers. Like I'm not saying they don't exist, but I've never met one in real life.
I know. It's dude. It's literally like, go fuck yourself. We're just gonna do this, no matter what, how realistic it is or not. Like it's
in Tokyo, they couldn't find the only hacker they could find was a black woman.
Yeah, in Tokyo.
Couldn't find anywhere else. Yeah.
The most like technologically advanced society, and
she is a what?
Oh my God.
What would you say she is? Unlikable.
She's also a bitch.
Yes, she is.
And she like makes fun of the guy for like.
Yep.
Like I don't even remember.
There's his dad, and of course he's a bad dad. He has 2 different families. He cheats on everyone, and then he's like abandoned them, and that they follow him around through time because anywhere he is, he leaves pencil shavings, which in some of the places he's left the pencil shavings would not be there anymore.
Dude,
like outside of a mountain, there's pencil shavings.
No, oh my God,
it's so dumb.
Not only that, there's a scene, guys. I want to do a little Platoon style like EFAP of this show. It's literally that bad. There's a scene where they get like this ping from a campsite that their father like crash landed on like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I got this ping. I hacked it.
Yep.
I hacked into the satellite. They track this ping across. They go into this like Indiana Jones 5 level, like Hurricane 5 storm.
Yep.
And they're like, oh my God, where are we? And they're like gonna die. And somehow the satellite is still picking up the precise location. And then they land, right? And not only that, they land perfectly where it is. And they get out of the plane, and there is a campsite that has miraculously survived 20 years in like the Arctic without getting like blown over. It's the dumbest thing I've seen. It might be the worst show I've seen in like 10 years. Like
the tents are still standing. The tents are standing. The pencil shavings are sitting on top of the desk in a tent in a blizzard where there's been an avalanche.
20 years later.
Yeah.
I think this series could have been better if more studio executives were on set.
Yeah, maybe. Honestly, maybe. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'm just shocked that so many people are telling me that it's good. Like, I can't even believe it. Like, I'm so shocked.
And Apple's usually pretty good. Like, a lot of their stuff they do, their TV stuff, is pretty good.
You know what? I compliment them all the time because they work really hard to make. They have the smallest subscribership, but have the best budgets and projects. They do.
Yeah.
So I expected something better, to be honest.
I mean,
with
Apple.
you. I was disappointed.
Yeah.
I hope they explain why Kurt Russell's 90 years old and he's in the story, he's 90 years old.
And they haven't explained yet why he's 90.
No.
And it's going to have something to do with the kaiju.
But he's also in an old folks home, which is for some reason like a high security old folks home.
That very high security. He has a
easily breaks out of.
Yeah.
Well, there's two relevant things here, Zach, that I think we should touch on. Number one, Wyatt Russell, the guy who's the son of Kurt Russell. Okay.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm just gonna say this. I don't like him. I know I don't like him. I think if Kurt Russell is like an S tier actor, I think Wyatt Russell might be like C tier. He's got to be he's got to be way down there. Like, come on. He is
I like him.
If you put why?
Why do I like him?
Yeah, like, isn't he just sort of a mid actor? Like, I don't. What is he doing?
He is like charisma. He's not his dad, but he's right now. He's like in this show. He's trying to, parrot his dad as much as he can. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
I like him.
To me, he's just goofy
22 Jump Street.
All right, what about Scott Eastwood though? Like Scott Eastwood is Clint Eastwood's son, and he, in my opinion, like stands out of his dad's shadow as his own actor. Do you like Scott Eastwood?
I do like Scott Eastwood. He's not great.
He's
but he's
okay.
Fun. I also like Denzel Washington's kid a lot. What's his name?
Denzel Washington's kid's an actor?
Oh, he's in Tenet. He's in Tenet. He's in Black
He's
Klansman.
the kid. I didn't know that was Denzel's kid. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
dude. Yeah,
That's generous to say he's an actor.
Yeah,
but,
it's Denzel Washington's kid. He's a great actor. He's in The Creator.
He's not a great actor. No.
He's good at The Creator.
That
He's a
Creator
good
was
former
such a
football
bad
player.
movie. Wow.
No. He's a good actor in bad movies. Let's just say that.
Okay.
I don't think Zix is going there.
No,
He's fine. He's fine.
not a fan.
No, but anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I don't like Wyatt Russell, but he was quoted recently. Get this. Listen to this quote. He says he's in the new Thunderbolts movie by Marvel's, by the way. Okay. He's a Captain America, right? The bad one from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He said
that
this
shitty show.
U.S. agent.
Yeah.
He's not the bad one, Wyatt Russell. He's the good one. U.S.
Whatever,
agent. The only character you actually like in that series is him.
Yeah. But he said this. He said, well, they're making a Thunderbolts movie. He said, I know everybody is sort of on this Marvel train right now of things not going so well. It's time to make a good Marvel movie. So let's do that and work hard and not take things for granted. That's a great quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's acknowledging that fans are upset, and he's literally saying we're going to work hard and we're not going to just assume we're going to make a good movie.
I like it.
That's a great quote. Like he's not shitting on fans, you know?
No, he's not.
I appreciate him for that.
And he's a decent
Real
actor. He's
quick,
better
I
than
wanted to
Denzel Jr.
Trip in the chat says, why is everyone now looking for things to hate in media rather than things to like? Ever consider that skews your enjoyment of anything? Normally, I would agree with you. I mean, to be fair, a lot of my channel is talking about both loving and enjoying things, as well as picking on the things to hate. As fans, you want to enjoy things. In this context, we're talking about Monarch. After we spent the first hour of this chat or this live thing sucking off two other good Godzilla products, or one good one and one that we hope is going to be good, and this third one is also a Godzilla product, so it's tied to those other two. We waited 2.5 hours to start shit talking. I feel like you're not exactly taking the time.
Wait a minute. Somebody complained that we're shitting on something?
Yes.
Wait a minute. To be fair, I don't like when people just constantly shit on stuff. But I feel like you're right, Leon. We haven't been doing that.
Yeah, no. like again, I mean, because I agree with the sentiment. Talk about things that you love, but for the most part, we kind of have been. We talked about how good Troll was. We talked about how good these Godzilla movies are. Yeah. We've been having a good time about good things. We get to one bad thing almost 3 hours in, and all of a sudden it's like, why is the nerds talking about things they hate? Like,
here's the problem.
The last 2.5 hours.
No. Here's the problem. It's true that too many people just adore. They actually enjoy shitting on things. Tim Pool is a fucking. He was like he wants things to be bad, so he can shit on.
So much respect for him when he called Mario Bros woke. When he said the Super Mario Bros woke, I'm like, you fucking.
Good night, Jacob.
Good night, Jacob.
The finals is up here, by the way. Godzilla versus Kong is the finals. No surprise.
I will say I agree in that sense that I would rather watch streams where people are like actual fans of things and like geeking out over stuff. I do that on my stream, but you can't be 100% in one way or the other. You have to like balance it, right? Like, so if a show comes out and it's terrible, you got to be honest about it and talk about it. But like, I agree that we should be talking about the good things. Now we have been doing that. We talked about Godzilla, and I talked about the host. I don't know.
I'm not. I'm not looking to not like it. I didn't watch it to hate watch it. I'm not reviewing it. I'm not trying to grift off of any of it. But this is the topic of tonight, and I happened to watch it because I wanted to like it and give it a chance because I don't watch things I don't like. I'm done with that. So no, it just turns out that I put time into it, and I kept waiting for it to unfold and be this great show, and it's just not so far.
Trip. You would be correct if we were talking about like the Marvels. We're not grifting on like the current thing. Number one, nobody's talking about Monarch. This is the only stream I've ever been on where anyone's talked about Monarch. So it's like we're bringing up something that is terrible, and then we have to talk about it because it's related to monsters. It's not like we're grifting where we're like trying to get people to like come talk about how bad the Marvels is like a month after it came out. Like there's a big difference between those two things. Anyway,
and I'll explain very simply. It has taken up maybe 1/20th of this show for us to talk about. Yeah. The show has been about other things, and we just brought this up. We shit on a little bit. It's clear. I think that there was a good idea because I like the trailer for it. But then the show came out, and I found it pretty disappointing. But I still watch it because I love Kurt Russell. I'll watch him read a phone book.
Yeah, but isn't he reading a phone book in this show? Like, it's so boring.
Gary, yeah.
Which is why I made that, comparison. I'd watch him read a phone book.
I know. I'm still watching the show. I'm watching
accurate
it
for this. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I'm still watching it because he's in it.
They're getting their money from me. But here's the funny thing. People who get sand in their vagina over other people shitting on stuff they like, why are you putting so much concern and worry into it? It's not you that's being attacked. You think it's you because it's something you like. I hear people talk hatredly towards things I like all the time. And have you ever seen me lose my shit? I'll make my stand. I'll make my argument. But in the end, I don't let other people's opinions affect whether I like or don't like something. And you shouldn't either. So don't get bent out of shape over it. It's silly to do that.
Trip says, I'm not yelling, and else says I didn't call you a grifter.
Trip was actually awesome, though, by the way. Just so you guys know. Trip does rule.
I called this out not to attack you, just to explain where I get your sentiment. That's why I start off saying normally I would agree with you. I think that comment, while I agree with it, was misplaced in this moment. So I didn't understand why the comment was made. Like because again, normally I agree with you. I've been advocating for how I want Fallout to be good, for example. I've been advocating for the Godzilla movie. Is like normally I agree with you. People do shit talk on YouTube because that's what brings in the rage clicks. But when we've been talking about good stuff for 2.5 hours, it's weird to see a comment like what, and then right when we switched to hating on something, I was like, the timing doesn't seem normal.
Also, it's not even this channel.
I don't think
general.
it escalated at all. This is just we're talking.
Yeah.
We're just talking.
Hey,
there's no escalation. Nobody getting weird.
I had a thing here. So we're talking about kaiju, and I have a recommendation, and this doesn't come from me. It comes from my mom, and I dropped a link in the private chat. There is a really me and my mom found this book, and I actually gave it to her as a library. It's called The Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi or something like that. And I didn't read it, but she keeps trying to get me. She wants me to read it because she said it was really good and the very clever premise. And it's about basically somebody's doing food delivery apps, and they end up meeting somebody that gets them to help them with animals that are actually kaiju on a different dimension, and there's some antics ensue. So there's a good book. I know we don't usually talk about books, but
books.
That was definitely a recommendation from my mom. So
that's the one. Okay, I'll put that up here right now. Yeah.
So I thought since
this
we're
one
talking about this, she just thought it was really good and entertaining. It's not a very long book, clever premise and stuff like that. So
okay,
damn,
from my mom. Since we're talking about this, and we don't usually get book recommendations.
Well, when you do though, I like when you do those, Lady B. You do excellent book recommendations.
I need to read some more.
Are you a fan of World War Z book?
Yeah, I love that book. That was fun to read.
The original book was amazing.
Favorite book, one of my favorite books of all time. Good pick, Lofty.
Yes, you know what's
that's fun.
Most people don't know this, but that book was written by Mel Brooks' son.
Yeah, that's right.
It was Max Brooks.
Wow.
Max Brooks.
Yep.
Oh,
And
we were just talking this on our channel.
Wow.
I think last Saturday.
Really?
We were talking about Max Brooks in that book. Yeah.
Do you agree that the movie fucked it up really bad?
Well, it's not a book.
It's not even the
they
book.
Just took
it's
the
not
name.
even. They stole the name.
Yeah, that's all they did.
It was that book is rife for a TV show. You could do.
That's exactly what we said. That's exactly what we said.
Like
TV show.
Well, no.
It doesn't work as a film.
Have you seen The Last of Us? Do you know?
No, I don't even like The Last of Us game, so I
didn't
wasn't
either.
like the show.
I didn't like the game. I didn't like the film.
The Last of Us does these occasionally they'll do these intro scenes where it's 5 minutes in the beginning.
They're the best part.
Where it's like India or whatever, they're talking about the outbreak, and that's the perfect setup for a World War Z show, where every episode could be about a different, one could be set in Japan with that blind samurai, the other one could be set in, they have all these different stories. Maybe hopefully somebody picks it up and does it correctly. someday.
Man, you said story in Japan, and while the Blind Samurai one's good, I thought you were gonna say the better one, which is the dude who's on the apartment high rise and he has to take days climbing down because he's an otaku
yeah,
and he's
that
out
was
of shape.
interesting.
Oh, that's my
He's
favorite
totally like
story.
a meat.
Well, All of Us Are Dead is a really good Japanese zombie show. Netflix, highly recommend it. It's probably the best zombie show it's the best zombie thing I've seen since that Train to Busan, and then like maybe Shaun of the Dead. Like it's All of Us Are Dead is like one of the best zombie things I've ever seen. It's Japan doing zombie stuff. They're stuck in a high school. It's fucking awesome.
Of course, they're stuck in high school. It's Japan.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hey, what was
so
that show
good.
called? Zombie High School or something? It was
High School
There's gotta be like 10
I love
animes
that
about
show.
that. Oh
I
my
love
God.
that show. That was good.
Yeah.
My daughter introduced me to that. I'm like, that's good stuff.
Yep.
We
But,
have a winner, and it's Godzilla. To no one's surprise, has won the night. Congratulations, Godzilla.
That's actually one of the best
What about-
moments in the film.
Have you wait, Zax.
Yes, Lofty.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
What do you mean?
Why? Okay. Why did you not put in Cthulhu in this?
Oh my god!
Cthulhu wins. Let's be real. That's not even fair. Cthulhu wins.
I
thought we were
mean,
just going off of
actually
movies.
like
Is
a
there any
movie
movies
of
with
that?
Cthulhu?
yeah, Call
Yeah.
of
There's a few
Cthulhu is a
Cthulhu
movie.
movies actually. One of them with Kristen Stewart of all people is actually it's decent.
Oh, the ocean one?
Kristen Stewart.
Where
Call
she's
of
name of
trapped
the
at the bottom of the
Twilight?
ocean.
Kristen Stewart.
Oh yeah,
Call of-
okay, yeah.
Yeah, Call of Cthulhu, 2005. It's a fan film actually. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, fan film. Oh,
Trust me, guys. It's so good. It's a silent movie. It's based on like old school, like silent films, silent horror movies. Call of Cthulhu, 2005. It's so good. Just look it up. Go watch it.
Call of Cthulhu.
The
Oh,
one that
yeah.
I'm for, just in case anyone's curious, is called Underwater. It's from 2020.
Yeah, it's
boy.
the one where they're at the bottom of the ocean. It's a pretty good film.
Yeah,
I
and
actually liked it.
Cthulhu's they find Cthulhu sleeping at the
that?
bottom of the ocean. Yeah.
Who's
I would,
this?
not me.
I would say
It's
that
not
it's
me.
an
Oh,
okay
God.
film. Not great, but okay.
Yeah, that's right. I said decent. Like it's
Yeah.
it's nearly impossible to do Lovecraft properly on screen unless you're doing it like a video game style format because that includes like player choice. But for a
Well, John
for a
Carpenter
movie,
did it.
Color Out of
Yeah,
Space
you're-
was actually pretty decent
Color of Outer Space was
with
good.
Nick Cage.
In the
fair.
Mouth of Madness was fantastic.
Oh, it's my
they're
favorite.
they're
It's my
redoing in the Mouth of
favorite.
Madness.
Yeah. Oh, is there?
They're in the process of remaking in the Mouth of Madness. I'm very interested. It seems like it's got potential.
Fuck. Also, the
It'll at
Void.
least be a paycheck for Carpenter.
Yeah, Carpenter that's an underrated Carpenter movie.
Yes,
The
it is.
Void, the modern day, there's a movie called The Void. It's very Lovecraftian. It's actually very like Event Horizon also. It's called The Void. It's horrifying. Very good special effects. Fucked up movie. Yeah, Lovecraft's hard to do. It's true. Look, Del Toro. Think about whoa. Flashback. Does anybody remember when Del Toro, James Cameron, and Tom Cruise were attached to direct a live action At the Mountains of Madness
Yeah.
rated R blockbuster movie?
Yep.
And the studios folded because they were fucking pussies. Do you remember
No.
this?
Oh yeah, I
No.
remember it.
Oh my god, this was like
I only know about that because when I was going through the information about the new one coming out, they mentioned that in the article about the version that fell apart. Yeah,
Good night, Jacob.
that was the first I'd ever heard of it.
Good night.
oh my god, like the studios were like, oh, we can't do rated R movies, and then Deadpool came out and like destroyed the box office. This was like later, this was before that, and it's unfortunate that we never got that because it was James Cameron, Del Toro, and Tom Cruise. Like, what the fuck? It would have been amazing, but whatever. I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to get that again, but
He's shy.
hopefully.
I'm hoping Del Toro never gives up on it.
I know,
'Cause
man.
He's the one director I would trust with it.
Yeah, but he's had so many projects canceled. He had
fair.
that video game project canceled called Insane.
But nothing
which
is ever dead. Remember this because I know a lot of filmmakers that took 20 years to get a film made.
Yeah.
And they did it. They
No
eventually
one's
did
ever
it.
really gone.
No one's ever
Yeah.
really gone.
true.
That's true. That's true. Del
Get
Toro's
John
doing.
Favreau to work on it. Maybe that could help it.
Oh boy, dude, what do you think about Del Toro's Frankenstein with Andrew Garfield and Oscar Isaac?
I will answer that question
That
when I
looks
see the first
interesting.
trailer.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm sold. It's Del Toro and Oscar Isaac. I'm like, I'm all in, baby. Like,
And,
Yeah, but-
and Andrew Garfield.
His
Andrew
TV
Garfield.
show is terrible.
No, he didn't direct any of it, dude. He fucking look. Here's the problem. The Strain is a great trilogy of books, and he let other people.
Oh no, I'm talking about the anthological series that he's doing.
Oh, that's another one. He just let a bunch of
I just don't like
no-name
it.
directors. Yeah, he let a bunch of no-name directors come in and do their thing, and he's just like supervising. He didn't direct any of it. That's like when people complain that Jordan Peele like fucked up the Twilight Zone. He wasn't even involved in that.
No, he is just the spokesperson for it and the face.
He gave them money. That's it. He gave them money, and he like told them he gave them like his production studio. That's about it. Del Toro was not involved in the Cabinet of Curiosities. It was a bunch of young filmmakers doing short films, and he was just like, "Here's money." That's pretty much it.
He still oversaw it. He's still what you would refer to as the showrunner.
I know. But that has nothing to do with his films. His films are fantastic.
And absolutely, at some point, the fault has to fall somewhere. And if he's the showrunner, it falls at his feet.
Not on Favreau.
I think the fault falls with the writer or director, but that's okay.
You're just trying to trigger me, Zach.
Yes, I
What the
am.
fuck with that tonight?
Absolutely. I am.
Favreau is.
I'm not falling for it. I love you, buddy.
Oh, thank you very much, bass player 2011. Lofty, here's your homework based on what you said earlier. All of the Showa era Godzilla films are on Max. Go watch them. Take your free trial if you don't have Max.
Also, you can go to Pluto and watch Godzilla Channel. And it's Godzilla movies all day, all night.
My man, it's hard for me to do that. Number one, I'm not a super hardcore fan of like the puppet Godzilla movies. I think they're not my cup of tea. Or stop motion or whatever.
That's only the two. That's the first two films. That's it. Raids and the first Godzilla.
Well, the Lofty, then allow me to ask, because there's a film that's by the director of the original Godzilla, the one that I think deserves so much love. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe I don't know if anyone on the panel's heard of it. It's called Matango.
Matango.
No,
Let me go look that up.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a quick synopsis. So basically, it's by Ishiro Honda. It's like I said, same guy did Godzilla, did Rodan, and it's not a kaiju film, but it's a Japanese monster movie. And it's about these a bunch of like Japanese yuppies. They're on a yacht and they get stranded on an island after.
Oh, I've seen this movie. Yes, when I was a kid.
Oh, it's so good. It is my favorite monster movie besides Godzilla and Night of the Living Dead. And basically, they get stranded on this island where the fungus and the wildlife is all mutated from the from the time of bomb testing and whatnot. And they start to slowly go insane and turn on each other, while at the same time, this island is infested with mutated mushroom people who they try to infect you, and when you eat the mushrooms on the island, you start becoming one. And so it's this very interesting. It's both a monster movie and a movie about just the human species.
When was it made?
63.
So is this sort of like Twilight Zone sort of vibes, would you say? Or
I'd say it's more. I'm trying to think of a good comparison. It's more like a very early John Carpenter's The Thing, but with
okay.
Can
I share my screen?
Yep.
I don't have a problem with that.
Can I show it? Okay.
My problem is I've seen fight scenes from Godzilla movies where he's
here you go.
horizontal and he's flying across and it's
this
clearly
is it right here.
A toy.
That is it. Yep,
toy.
right there, Matango.
I
Okay, that
remember
looks fun.
this movie as a kid. Oh, it's something else, dude.
This is
Well,
without a doubt after Godzilla and Night of the Living Dead.
just
This is
some
my
photos.
third favorite monster movie ever made, and it's so
Cool.
it's very slow. It's a very slow watch people slowly go crazy and turn on each other while
Oh,
the
I like
mushroom
that.
people
I like
are
that.
I know you like that style, which is why I'm bringing it up.
Well, that reminds me of The Fly. Jeff Goldblum's The Fly.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! Look at the infected one here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, huh? That is Last of Us.
1963.
I know, right?
Wow.
Isn't it crazy when you see something that's random, some random small, really old thing, and you're like, okay, they totally ripped that off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like the movie Space Amoeba, if you remember that one.
Also by I believe Space Amoeba is also by Ishiro Honda.
I'm sure
Not
it
muted.
is.
Nope.
Yeah. Space Amoeba is also by Ishiro Honda. I'm 99% sure.
But
I just
anyway, I
look,
thought I'd share that.
Yeah, cool.
I don't I don't want to watch a Godzilla movie where it's like a toy and he's just like flying horizontal across the sky and there's like no weight behind anything he's doing. And it's just like Power Rangers.
The law of physics goes out the window.
I don't want to watch Power Rangers Godzilla. Is there like what's a good Godzilla movie for me? I saw the original. I love it. It's very serious actually. It's not like campy. I don't know. Like many of them are cringe, like Ultraman, Power Rangers.
Have you seen Godzilla 2000?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Have you seen Godzilla?
I like the
Final
1984 Godzilla
No.
when he came back because they took a break for like
No,
I
I've
don't know,
not.
was it 9 years? They stopped making Godzilla movies, and then they basically retold the first Godzilla story, and they even brought for the American release they brought Raymond Burr back for it. And
rather than watching Godzilla, I would say watch Rodan instead. It came out a couple years after the
Rodan?
original Godzilla.
It's a good
got
film.
a very similar feel.
I like the
to
Gamera.
original
I mean, not
Godzilla.
Gamera. Yeah, Gamera. I like the
Yeah,
Gamera.
yeah.
film.
Gamera was another Toho. Yeah.
Oh, I'll watch that.
No, that wasn't Toho. That was in the other studio.
Was Gamera not Toho?
I don't think Gamera was Toho.
Okay, it used the same director that Toho uses all the time, which might be why I assumed it was Toho. But yeah, it's got a director that worked with Toho.
That's why I don't think you ever see
watch
Gamera
Matango
fight
first and foremost,
Godzilla.
Lofty. I want to hear your thoughts on Matango.
I want to watch that. I would love to. It's interesting. If we talk about monster movies lately. Hollywood has been. It's kind of a dead genre. However, I would say that the best recent monster movie I've seen is a movie called No One Will Save You. Has anyone seen this? It's on Hulu.
No.
Oh my god! It came out this year.
Is that the alien one?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, I watched it like 4 weeks ago. It's awesome.
Isn't it
Very
crazy,
great.
dude? Okay.
I liked it so much more than I thought I would.
It's wild. It's literally an alien invasion movie, but it feels like a monster movie. Like it's a home invasion movie, and I'm telling you, it might be the best horror movie of the year. It's up there with like Talk to Me and.
Well, it's also like some people are gonna be turned off by this, so I'm gonna say it out the gate. The main heroine, she doesn't speak. If she speaks, it's 1 or 2 lines of dialogue. It's almost
There's
entirely
no
silent
dialogue
from her. There are other characters very sporadically that talk, but she is silent, and it's so interesting and well shot.
What's it called? So I can look it up.
Yeah,
it's called No One Will Save You. Zach,
I'm also sharing another film when you get a chance.
Yeah, it's my favorite horror movie of the year, Zach's. And it's the girl who's
people in the chat are liking it too. You're getting lots of
Hulu.
Yeah.
Hulu. It's by the way, that director has been chatting with me on Twitter. He's a nice guy. No One Will Save You. This girl is in something else. Her name is Caitlin Diver. She is in something coming out soon. I can't remember.
Have any of you guys ever seen this movie?
Pulgasari, in feudal Korea, the evil king becomes. No.
This is the movie that the director. Let me find him real quick here.
Fair
here
enough.
it is.
William Richards. We all think this crowd's going to be turned off by a woman not running her mouth. You know, you got me, William.
Down, babe.
Shin Sang-ok was the film director that was kidnapped by the then, I don't know, leader.
I have not
Kim
seen this.
Jong-un, was it? Or Kim Jong-il kidnapped him from South Korea to make this movie. And he never freed him. He had to escape North Korea. But this was the movie he was forced to make after he was kidnapped. And it is a North Korean kaiju film. And you can watch it on YouTube for free. It's available on YouTube.
Wow.
I want to say hello to Peter Beck from Fanside and Mary Winchester. Good to see you guys both here. Thanks for coming. Hosting Socrates as well as rolled in.
Here we go. Here's some images from the film.
Love the hair.
This was a film, like I said, the director was kidnapped and forced to make for the North Koreans.
That's amazing.
I'm looking to see if they show the monster. There's the miniature. Little puppet on the guy in the costume.
Damn, dude.
And then eventually it comes to life and terrorizes this area.
Was he kidnapped? Is he originally Japanese?
I don't know what his nationality was. I just know that he was kidnapped by the North Koreans and forced to make movies for them. There it is. There's the monster in full form. That movie is wackadoodle fun.
Yikes.
It's crazy. And it is the one North Korean kaiju contribution.
Wow.
I
And
still
people should watch it.
Yeah.
Well, I respect Matt Reeves for his take, which is like, you know, Japan has all the kaiju movies. And why doesn't like the West or America, like, why don't we have our own kaiju mythology? So that's why he created Cloverfield. And he even did like viral marketing campaigns. Like he had this slushy website. If you go on the website, you could like get slushies from it. And actually the slushy satellite, which is the company's sponsored satellite,
I remember all that shit, dude. I followed all their
was
websites.
it was a viral website. You could go on there, and it was part of the marketing campaign because the trailer was so ambiguous.
Dude, watch those.
Oh yeah,
I have to play bass player before I forget. I clip for bass player.
Oh, go ahead.
This is you as an all-American and a big opportunity for you in Hollywood. You must have had to beat off a lot of American men to get this part. Why does that make you giggle? Did you not have to beat them off?
You
With a
actually,
big
to get
stick?
the role, there was
That clip never gets old.
No.
No. Almost as good as the North American skin flute.
Almost.
You must have blown them all away.
Maybe. That's a good call. Let's do that
Photojournalist
too.
Brad Rice shows us how a forestry instructor gets his students to make and play the North American the flute in this traveling West Virginia segment.
Never seen that one.
North American skin flute.
North American skin flute. Yes.
Oh, so great.
Indeed. So yes. So thank you, bass player. Appreciate that.
Awesome.
Like we better wrap this puppy up, boys. And Lady B.
Yeah, I'm getting old and tired.
Yeah, I am
ready for
sick. So
Lady B's been sick and she's hung out all night anyways. So thank you. Do you want to?
yeah,
What are you doing first?
George
Let's
is,
go.
like wandering around. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah. So he's answering your question from before. Jam the message into stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, you guys, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. It's fun watch.
Yeah, I agree.
Are you talking about the original?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the original.
Like the
Lady
OG
B.
with all of these. I have
What's going on with you?
nothing going on.
I don't believe it.
Kind of like been trying to just not be sick, so I have no idea what I'll be doing. I did do that really cool stream with Miss Martin Muses last week, and we talked about classical music, which was really fun. And that's a fun, like, if you want to listen to me talk about things I don't usually talk about. But yeah, I've got nothing, but I'll probably be here next week, though.
Well, you were doing your Silmarillion shows as well.
Oh yeah, I did do. Oh yeah, I forget about that. See, I'm tired and sick. Yeah, we did it. We have I think in the original thing where we're gonna have the last part is one part, but it's really big, so we're gonna split it up into two. So we have 2 more Silmarillion streams. I'm not sure if it's gonna be this coming weekend or next weekend. Probably next weekend, just because I've been too sick to like read or anything. So.
And also, you're part of White Cloaks.
Oh yeah,
so
so
put
like
their link in there.
yeah. I think like we're probably gonna have like a chill stream or something. We've all been kind of busy, and the guys have been working. And actually, me and Alex, aka Will, in the chat, we've been working on doing something to thank our we have like a subscribe star and like channel members, or like not members of YouTube, but people that have been supporting us through that. We wanted to do, and the people that send us super chats, we're doing something for them. So I've been working on that too.
What do you think of Subscribe Star?
I don't know. Like, I just help the White Cloaks out. Honestly, I'm just an honorary member of them. I mean, I have my own
Because
channel,
Nick Weiser really pitches it. He loves it.
Does he? Okay.
I would just say that, like, if I ever have to do something like that, it's probably one of the only ones I could use, just because I've been banned off of like certain platforms for fundraising. Because I did a lot of like things with protesting COVID nonsense. So But I like it because it's not attached to YouTube, so you keep more of your money, and it's just you could put out like it's not your monetization isn't dependent on your content, but that's just me. I try to help the guys out, so
Yeah, and you're not going to have the carpet yanked from underneath you, and even your supporters too, because then all of a sudden it's YouTube cuts you off. It just happens.
Yeah, exactly.
All the time.
But we've had a lot of people
punished us too, man.
Supporting us on the White Cloak, so we wanted to do something kind of cool and positive with that. And I'm currently like filming an actual filming a video for it, so I'm kind of excited. I got my big camera and the tripod out, so
cool.
Yeah,
everyone's links are all in the description. So all Lady B's and her Twitter as well, and so
it's nice meeting you, Lady
in
B.
there.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm coughing right now. Hi, George.
That's okay. I really like your cat, though.
Thanks. He's awesome. He's so sweet. He's an older cat, you guys. If you ever have to adopt an animal,
I could tell by the way his eyes look when you get close on him. I'm like, he's a mature cat.
Yeah, he's 4 or so. Anyway,
Leon Idol, what's up with you?
Yeah. Well, same as always. I do videos every day or nearly every day. Occasionally, I take a day off. But yeah, I cover pop culture through semi-political news, and I don't do it from either side. In my opinion, I think both sides need to get out of nerd culture. So when I see anyone on the right doing dumb shit with pop culture, you're gonna get a video on that. Same with the left. Obviously, I hit the left a bit more because they're the ones who are smart enough to try and take over pop culture because they know that politics is downstream from culture. However, yeah, you're gonna get new videos every day, as well as my Monday show at 3:00 p.m. Central Time. Zax and Lofty have both been on it before. And anyway, I can't wait to have other individuals on the show. Anyone on this panel, you're obviously welcome to come on. But yeah, you can definitely check that out. I'm trying to get to 2K subs before the end of the year, which is we're like 65 away or something. My 1 year anniversary on YouTube is this Monday, so it's been an awesome year. I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying getting to come on streams like this. So thank you very much for having me on and inviting me. It's fantastic. And other than that, just look forward to the videos and check out my channel. I think you guys will enjoy it. If you enjoy Zach, you'll probably enjoy a lot of my videos as well.
What's cool about Leon stuff, and that's one of the reasons I watch him all the time too, is I disagree with him, not all the time, but enough that I like to get that he has that other perspective, and he's always well reasoned with it too. It's not there's no like, I don't know, there's no big takes. He really talks you through his position, and I appreciate that a lot.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I honestly, Hypnotic the other day said that I've got such bad takes about anime that I'm the Lofty pixels of anime. So
Oh no!
Oh my god, that's hilarious. I got a lot of bad takes about anime too. Like, my brother's
Lofty.
earful.
I feel like I've never even talked to Hypnotic, but he knows me as my bad takes.
Yeah, to be fair, I agree with you on a bunch of shit. So I feel like it's a pretty. I took it as a compliment because I think my anime takes are awesome. So.
Everybody does, everybody's their own, main character. It's just when, don't take it seriously. Look, just because somebody has a big channel and they're like, oh, this person's correct about everything. It's not necessarily. So, you know what I mean?
Yep. I'm with you on that one 100%.
Absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, all of his info is also in the description, and I just put his link in the chat. Go give him a sub. It's worth it. It's worth it. Daily content, and it's always good, and it's worth getting. Like, it's not just a quick take; it's a well-reasoned ideas. I like it a lot. Lofty. Speaking of bad takes.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Tonight I did a big GTA stream. If you're interested, basically every Wednesday I stream about something. Wednesday nights 8 p.m. Eastern time on my channel on Lofty Lounge. We talk about nerd culture, and then I'm doing Godzilla and number one, I'm doing a Godzilla panel probably this weekend. But more importantly, I am doing a panel. I'm trying to organize a panel with Krista Nova and Camelot and maybe somebody else. Excuse me, about the new Hayao Miyazaki movie, The Boy and the Heron. And I'm telling you, it's the best movie of the year. Go see it if it's in your theater. If it's near you, if it's like I got lucky, it's in IMAX, like 10 minutes from my house. But Hayao Miyazaki's movie, The Boy and the Heron, I'm telling you guys, it's a throwback to his early days of Nausicaa, Spirit of the Way, Castle in the Sky. It's literally one of his best movies. It's so fucking good. go watch it at the biggest screen you can find, and then check out our stream. Sub to my channel. We're gonna do a big panel about it. We're gonna do a whole Hayao Miyazaki stream, talk about all his movies. I'm trying to do it next week, so I gives you plenty of time.
Well,
to
that's the trailer, by the way,
Yeah.
that they show with the Godzilla movie is for that film. And
do they really?
I felt like a little kid watching that trailer. It made me go back to classic anime.
I know.
I was like,
dude.
my eyes got all huge watching it. I can hardly wait to see it.
know. I felt that way in the theater. I so felt
Lofty,
that way.
fun fact since you're a Miyazaki fan. So Ishiro Honda, the guy that directed Godzilla and all these,
Yeah.
was dethroned as the most successful international director of all time by Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Like it was Ishiro Honda who held that title until Miyazaki. So there's another little double up for you.
Oh yeah, Ishiro Honda. I think he did some samurai films too, if I'm not mistaken.
He was friends with Kurosawa. He worked with Kurosawa on some samurai films. But it's just really cool to see that Miyazaki is the one that took the crown from Hondo in terms of that title.
Well, if you go back to 1997, I believe Princess Mononoke was the highest grossing movie in Japan, and it eclipsed E.T. at that time. It beat
better
E.T.
film.
Yeah, I think so. I know E.T. is a masterpiece, but so is Miyazaki's Mononoke. I love E.T.
by the chat right now.
What did I do?
Rest in
Come on,
peace,
we all
Lofty.
know it's all about like it's all about
Anyway,
his delivery.
all I can say is I'm excited about that. Talk about that movie. It needs to be talked about more often. I think it's the best film of the year. Period. And like I said, I love Godzilla -1. I think it's like an 8 out of 10. But I think The Boy and the Heron is like a straight up masterpiece. I think Oppenheimer is probably my second favorite movie of the year. And then like right after that, possibly John Wick 4, maybe Beau's Afraid. I don't know. I'm sort of a weird Ari Aster fan, but yeah. Other than that, what else? I'm gonna start streaming. I'm gonna be streaming the Avatar game. It comes out tomorrow. It's a new Avatar game. Yeah,
That's right.
I'm gonna do it as a joke.
You can't get enough.
No. That's why I'm doing it. I'm streaming it because it's like I shill for them so hard that I might as well.
Okay. Fair.
But and then I'm streaming GTA 5 after that. So I'm gonna start just sub to my YouTube channel. That's all.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Sub to Lofty. And Gary, tell us about what you're working on.
That's me.
That is you.
Well, of course, as far as YouTube goes, I do Military Monday. I do the Friday TGIF show with Keith and the gang, and we just talk about what's the latest news, or we have a guest on, celebrity that we interview. And then Saturdays, alternating Saturdays, is Saturday Fun Time, which I do with Keith, and then I do Tom and Jaeger with Tom from Midnight's Edge, and we talk about movies or TV shows that we love, and we focus on one specific show or movie each weekend, and for both shows. And it's all about talking positive, trying to get more proactive stuff than trying to shit on things, because there's too much stuff out there to shit on, and it gets boring after a while. Instead, let's talk about stuff that's worth talking about. And so our Saturdays are dedicated to talking about either TV shows or movies that are worthwhile. And this week, though, I'm going to be doing a lot of other people's shows. Your show this week. Tomorrow, Flip City Magazine is launching their YouTube channel. I'm their first guest, and that'll go live tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening. I'm doing Nick Weiser's comic show Friday night. I was on Midnight's Edge day before yesterday. I'm always on Toxic Tuesday. You can catch me on Toxic Tuesday, because Nick and I are good friends, and I love doing that show. And then I did the show with you today, and I did another show. Man, my brain's fried from doing so many shows this week. I'm pushing this campaign, man.
Yeah,
I've got to make it successful because I need Richard Bonk to get paid. It would be nice if I could get paid to work for the next few months while I finish this book, but it's more important to get Richard paid, and then of course be able to afford to print the book. It's not being published. I'm in negotiation with people once it's done as to who's going to publish it, but it's going to be a partnership. It's not going to be they publish it and I get my small percentage. I'm done with that. I did that with IDW for years. I'm not doing that anymore. I put too much work into these things, creating them. But we've got 20 backers right now. We're at 785 already, 9 days. We had a delayed start on it because nobody was ready to have me on. But there's Richard Bonk, and he's just a brilliant comic artist friend of mine. And he draws amazing artwork. This is some of the artwork from the book. And if you go to this page, you can share the link again if you want to, Zax.
Yeah.
You can actually download 2 of the chapters. God judges his heroes by their scars, and the chapter A Leg to Stand On. You can also read about what inspired the book, and you can actually see some of the artwork right here from the book and how accurately I draw weapons and combat. Because even Dale Dye says, when I write a combat scene, he says, son, you know how to write a combat scene. It's always exciting and very accurate. And I'm like, yeah, well, I spent my time in the military. I know what I'm doing. And we have all the different tier levels.
Your campaign is pinned in the chat as well. It's in the chat, also in the description of the video. So definitely go and support Gerry. Your link, your campaign.
Oh yes, the campaign. Thank you so much. Already tonight we've got 5 new supporters.
That's
went
awesome.
from 15 to 20. I attribute that to both the show I did this morning and your show.
It's all me.
Clearly,
it was all me.
You're taking all credit for that, Zax. That's
yes,
okay.
all of it. Yep.
You know I love you. And I do. I love Zax. I do. I have a great love for him. When he
man love,
he's like, I think I'm going to try this YouTube thing. I went, great, because he was doing all of our short videos and stuff. And then like he just took off and started doing the YouTube. And I went, I didn't mean quit our show. I miss you.
Well, your streams are during the day, and I got to work now. So yeah.
Oh, I know, man. I know. You gotta your cocaine habit.
And ideally, like this is a late. Like my streams are late already. Like this, but this is as early as I can kind of get going. So
I think it's awesome. And your channel, because you started doing a lot of the Band of Brothers stuff, and that stuff, even though it ended up costing you, it got you subscriptions, dude.
It really did.
You grew.
Yeah.
It
it's
really
worth
helped you grow. But it worried me because I remember I kept sending you warning letters.
You did, yeah.
It's gonna bounce back at you. Be careful. Be ready. And because I warned Fat Steven about that shit with the trucker thing. I said it's gonna bounce back at you. Be prepared. And you guys did a fantastic job. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you.
Thanks a lot, Gerry. Appreciate that,
man.
And you.
I still cry that you left me.
Wow. You know what?
Let's all just be gay
and
continue to be gay the whole stream.
Gerry has to get to Denny's for the senior discount, and so that's the problem. So we have to have a show done, but to get the seniors menu at Denny's, that's what it is.
It's like old people.
I love
my Maylocks.
Don, you still there?
I am
subscribed
still
to
here.
Our Hilt's Hurt. That's his channel. And
don't
don't
go
watch
there.
videos there. Don't watch any
Please.
videos there. Just kill his algorithm as hard as you can.
No, don't do any of that. Don't subscribe to me. Don't do anything. Just be here for Circle Jerk Saturday. Should have a fun show. So
Oh my god,
be here.
Circle Jerk last week was really crazy. Like what?
We've had some amazing Circle of Jerk shows the last like 2 months. I would say we've been pretty solid every night.
Thing. I had nightmares, you guys. I had nightmares.
We might call Buds. We have his number. We might call him this stream. So
you guys don't want to miss us talking to Buds. If he's still alive. We're not
47.
sure. Or number 47, next president. Don't forget that. So yeah, I think I'm hosting this week, aren't I? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hosting Circle of Jerks on my channel, 11:30 Central on Saturday night.
I'm sorry, did you read what Dildo said?
What?
No.
He said, Zax, you're the sand in Gary's backboard.
There you go. You're welcome.
I love Dildo. He's so funny.
Dildo gets it. Yeah, he's funny. He's funny. And then so hang out with us that night. Also, please leave a comment after the stream. It helps a lot. It doesn't have to be a good comment. Say something bad about Lofty if you want to.
I knew that was coming.
Those always help. The last one, I got like 4.4K views on that live stream, Lofty, with you and Platoon.
Oh fuck, dude! I saw that.
Nuts.
It kept going up and up and up.
I know.
And I kept checking the comments, and I was like,
every day,
this is getting crazy. Yeah, it was funny.
It was awesome. It worked great.
It was a fun stream. I caught a bit of like sections of it. It was epic.
Oh. And,
I think it was the Platoon versus Lofty dynamic. I think that's what's just like, it was like lightning in a bottle.
It was. So we're gonna have you back again, and hopefully get Platoon back to do Barbie still. And Nadia's gonna have your back this time. Not like
oh no,
Dawn.
can we do? Oh no,
not like Don, who didn't have your back.
Oh my god. Yeah, I didn't have his back. The direction he went, I don't think God could have helped him at that point.
And
I was rooting for you in the chat, man. I agreed with like 65% of what you said.
It's hard.
You were like going off on some tangents that, in my opinion, were brilliant, and everyone's like shooting up, just like, this is not fucking fair.
Look, it's hard because it's hard to do like 1v4 debates. It's also hard.
Leona does 1v4 every Saturday night, but you know.
I know, but look, Platoon is like a fucking god when it comes to debates. And also, it's so number one, I was handicapped. Number two, I was defending a movie that's very difficult to defend. It's
to be fair, I don't think it's that difficult to defend. I think you just kind of sucked at after about an hour and a half. You started because there were so many defenses that you seemed like you were starting to build up to, and then
I was trying.
Do it like, fuck, go this direction.
I had, dude, I couldn't even address half my notes. I had half my notes. It was everybody was bringing up points that I was trying to respond to. It's harder than you think, dude. I'm telling you, you would not do any better in that debate. It's really hard.
I bet I can crush it.
Anyway, now you fucking you were there. You were literally fucking it up the whole time.
All right, peoples. Leave a comment. I'm going to send you guys over to Vigilante Williamson's got a show going right now, so we're going to raid him. And you guys know how we end the show. So thanks for hanging out all night. Thank you, panel.
Thank you, guys.
You chat. You guys have been awesome. This has been a fantastic show. Here we go.
Respect to the trans community. And fuck you, transphobes.
Trans people are my friends. Transphobes gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them for we're going in. Trans people are my friends. Transphobes gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them for we're going in. Transphobes, show your fucking out. I'll knock you out. I'll knock you out. Transphobes, show your fucking out. I'll knock you out. You better watch out. Trans people are my friends. Transphobes gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends.